Fix my hair for the last time.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Nerd Eye Twitch channel. I am one of the two hosts, the other one is not here, but I am Eloy Lasanta, and I'm running session 2 of our ongoing AMP Year 1, blah 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 blah, because I have my own voice coming in because I'm bad at this. So this is session 2 of our ongoing AMP Year 1 game. Of course, we started in Year 5 as to give a little bit of a sneak peek into the types of things to expect when we go into Year 5, the Kickstarter that'll be out next year. Don't ask me about it. I have no clue when. So just to give everybody a reminder, let's start with Crystal. Go ahead and introduce yourself and your character, and then we'll move on to the next person.
Hello, I'm Crystal, and I will be playing Bygone. She is a 18-year-old who has traveler powers. She can actually open portals, but she's extremely bad at it.
All right, Ray.
All right, hi, my name is Ray. I will be playing Retribution. He is a mid-20s sad sack, pacifist street fighter guy. He makes really, really mediocre pancakes. Like really, like good C- pancakes. C-.
Are they from scratch though?
No. Oh no. No. They're C- from this.
Well, hey, wait. How are you making mediocre Betty Crocker? Like Betty Crocker is just
you
can mess it up.
them, you overcook them, you put the wrong thing. I've done this myself. I have a lot of experience.
It's always nice to put a little bit of yourself in your character.
That's true.
Wait. Are we grilling Ray about his pancakes?
I mean, no, we're grilling Ray about Retribution's pancake. Martin.
Yes, hi, I'm Martin, and I am playing Serpentine, who is also 18 years old and wisecracking and has various aquatic powers and is very stretchy. And
cool.
I think the only member of an actual affiliation.
Weird.
So, go Atlantis.
I think Ray is technically UHF, like stat-wise.
I'm not.
It's complicated.
Oh no, you took unaffiliated? Okay, well then yeah, I think you're the only one who is currently a member of an affiliation, yes. And Carol.
I'm Carol. I play Wraith. She's a 25-year-old archaeology grad student and TA who has fallen in with this band.
Well, very cool. Well, the last thing that happened.
Powers. Yeah, intangibility.
With intangibility, yes. What ended up happening the last time that we played is each of them woke up in a prison that was currently being destroyed, and it was all about them escaping with their lives, which they mostly did, which was nice. They even saved one other person, so it was great. So I tasked my players, because we are going to now move the timeline forward 1 month, so I tasked them with, what did you do for 4 weeks? So we're going to go in the normal order that I go in, which is just Crystal, Ray, Martin, Carol. It's just easy to go down that way. And you guys are going to tell me what you guys do within those 4 weeks. And there we go. So Crystal, what do you do in the first week after your prison break?
So the first week, she's probably going to, because they all went to her apartment because they were not that far off from where she actually lived.
Right.
So she's going to bring them all to her apartment. She's going to make sure that they have clothes and like at least a place to crash and like food.
Mm-hmm.
And until they can figure out what they were doing. So that first week is just going to be her being a teenage hospitable, so like the fridge is full of condiments and not really much food. But it's there for you. You can have some.
All right. Well, can you make a persuasion and empathy roll to see how good your hospitality is?
Oh. Let's see here. Okay. Oof. Oh, so I actually rolled a 21.
Nice. All right. Well, even without trying, Bygone seems to be a really good host. She's able to, pull out the cot and somehow able to make an additional bed out of some pillows and, so everybody has a place to sleep. That's awesome. That's great. Retribution. What is Retribution doing with his first week after the prison break?
Oh man, so I think the first thing is making pancakes, right? That's definitely comes in week one. Tucking people in at night, very very like nicely, like not like actually just being conscious and tucking people in. He doesn't sleep great. That's not his thing. He definitely has to score some drugs. So I think that he goes out and does that. He accesses his. Day one, he probably tried to access his bank account and, go to the local branch and be like, I know, I'm sorry, and whatever. So that's important. Got to get your drugs. The only other question I had for you is the seeker that he was staying with kind of as like his parole officer?
No.
There's a person like that, correct? I thought I was staying with somebody.
No. You were like in protective custody.
Yeah. So
yeah, the guy, the seeker, he's a lawyer.
Oh, yes. Rhett would have contacted him.
Okay.
And like told him about the place that they were.
Okay.
And describe generally what happened and remind him that like they didn't break any laws. And I mean, maybe it was illegal that they were like kidnapped. That's like
okay.
His read.
So the only roll I'm going to have you make is going to be for you to score drugs.
Sure.
So, if you could make, let's see, where did I have those characters? Here they are. If you can make, let me see, that's probably a stealth and deception roll. Let's say it's that.
Okay. I got a 14.
Okay. All right. I'm going to say you're able to get a small amount of drugs, but you will have to replenish probably soon.
Okay.
Sadly, you weren't able to get a good score.
Sorry, we're not from this neighborhood, so it's hard.
With regard to calling the Sursnick Law Office, you get his receptionist the first time and says, she says something to the effect of like, definitely whenever he comes back, I'll have him call you. You never get a call back. So at the end of the week, you call again, and she says, actually, he's gone missing. So and we filed police reports and everything. So she's like, I don't even know if you should expect a call back. But if he does, he's definitely got lots of messages waiting for him at this point.
All right. Well, if you need anything, just give me a call. I don't know what I can do, but that's not good. This is crazy.
Yeah, it's not good. But yes, he has gone missing. Very good. Very good. All right, Martin, what is Serpentine doing with the first week?
So Serpentine definitely wants to contact Atlantis and about the kidnapping and the chamber and fill them in on their rescue by mysterious persons with detachable clawed hands and stuff, and let them know that, okay, something weird is going down in the Chicago area.
Okay. Well, right now, Atlantis is off the coast of California. So a phone call is probably your best bet because you're in Chicago. They're definitely, I mean, they're like, oh man, like, it's so like, are you okay? And, do you need us to dispatch, assistance, or like, are you in a safe place? Do we need to find you a safe house? Like, what's going on?
I let them know that for the moment I found a place to stay with some of the other escapees. But my second thing was going to be to get checked out and see if anything was left in me, or if there was any noticeable effects of being experimented on, 4 times since I
Right.
was there, like 8 days or something like
Yeah.
that. Is there any like tracking stuff in me, which there really doesn't need to be if anyone's an amp? And is there
What I will
stuff
say is you definitely don't see any discernible difference in you. You just feel like you. So nothing physical or mental that feels different in your case. Whether there actually is something in you is a different question. How were you planning on finding out if there is something in you?
Yeah, I was just going to try to go to some sort of doctor, see if I could
Metal
find.
detector? Like
Yeah, I mean, I figure that Atlantis probably has doctors, but they're probably A, on Atlantis, and B, really busy with keeping an entire city state healthy.
yeah.
So,
So
it's not like I'm in the Seekers or something like that have
exactly.
real medical people.
Exactly. There definitely have been more kind of amp friendly doctors and stuff that have popped up. So if you did want to go see a doctor, you could go see one.
Yeah, I was thinking of saving that for my second week activity.
Okay.
And if I figured definitely need to fill in Atlantis that at least amps are being kidnapped. Who knows if it affects like Twiceborn or something else.
And Atlantis says that they're going to do research in the chamber and figure out, because officially the chamber closed down like 2 years ago, and then last year the main publicized chamber, the one that's actually called the chamber, became the Aegis Squad headquarters. So that's pretty well-known information by everybody. The Aegis Squad is like the Teen Titans. So it's like, everybody knows it's like, hey, those are the teen, that's where they are, just in case anything happens. So yeah, okay. Cool. All right. Carol, what does Wraith do with the first week?
Well, Abigail's, when she finally catches her breath, and it's easy because Bygone is such a good hostess. She's trying to think practically. So she's got to replace everything. And she is trying to think of what to tell her parents, because she was gone for the least amount of time, but she doesn't often just disappear like that. And she doesn't have her phone. So she doesn't know how many dozens of text messages and phone calls that she's missed.
Is Abigail the type of person who calls her parents every day?
Not every day, but if there was problem on campus, her parents are professors at the campus that she's at.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay.
So usually there's at least a text or something,
right,
even though she doesn't live with them or anything like that. So, and it's been difficult because she's been trying to not let them know she's an amp. So she's been relying more and more on phone calls and texts. Oh, I can't stop by. I'm studying. I can't stop by. Professor Ferguson needs me to do this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be odd necessarily, but if there was trouble at campus, and there was, so yeah, I know that I gave her enough wealth that she can replace her phone, replace her ID, get a new, teacher's ID or whatever. So she's probably going to spend a few solid days doing that.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. She's definitely wealthy enough to have paid for insurance on her phone.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I know I'm not rolling in that kind of money.
TAs get so much. No.
All right, cool.
But yeah, that's her first few days. That and checking out her apartment and being very careful about it, because she doesn't know what of her stuff survived, and if they would even go through like the IDs and the stuff that they took off the amps, they kidnapped.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so do you want to make a search roll of some sort in your apartment?
Yeah, just to make sure it's kind of safe to go back to.
Okay.
So I'll
Very
pull up
cool.
my sheet.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's make it a perception and knowledge roll,
Ooh.
actually.
Okay.
We'll make that perception knowledge.
All right. That's an 18.
18.
Yes.
So I'm going to say you are looking through your apartment and everything seems to be exactly where you left it, except for a photo of you and Professor Ferguson.
Oh.
For some reason, like there's like a picture of like your graduation or something where he was at or whatever. And like him, like you standing there with a diploma and him with his arm around you, like,
Okay.
and that for some reason that picture is missing.
Okay. Everything else is there though, right?
But everything else is exactly where it was.
Okay. Why does that now worry me? All right. So there's my first week.
All right.
Not anxious at all.
Bygone, second week.
I am unmuted, or now I'm unmuted. All right. I think for her second week, she is going to try to see if there's anyone else reported missing in the area.
Okay.
Like if this was like a huge grab for a bunch of amps in the area or anything like that, and she's gonna see if maybe there's like some sort of pattern or it was just happenstance.
Okay. How do you go about that? Because your character is not necessarily like in law enforcement or anything.
No.
Yeah. Are you just gonna like look through the papers or?
I mean, yeah, she's gonna look through the papers. Internet's a thing, right? I'm assuming.
Yeah, there's an internet.
Yeah,
There's internet.
she's gonna.
You can find some stuff. It's just depending upon how deep you were wanting to go. You might need more than the internet.
Yeah, I mean, she's not that deep of a level of investigator just yet. So she's just gonna do like surface stuff of, hey, this person's been missing for a couple of days, or this person's been missing for a week, like within the time frame of where the four of us have been taken.
Sounds great. Go ahead and make. Oh no, I think we might be losing Martin. Go ahead and make obviously technology. Let's make it a knowledge intuition technology.
Oh, nice. Okay. 18.
Okay. I'm going to say that you were able to find quite a few numbers of people who are missing. I would say even just from the Chicago area, there's like dozens and dozens and dozens of people who are missing. Some amp, some not, publicly amp, but who knows? Maybe they were. But actually, it almost seems like you're finding an overabundance of people who are missing, even more than were in the prison.
Oh, so there might be another prison. Okay. All right.
Very cool. Ray?
Kirk Retribution will continue doing what he did the week before. You have come to learn that he is not much of a self-starter. He's a way better follower than a leader. Terribly supportive, I guess. Make sure you have drugs, right? Call the Seekers to see if that guy came back. Make grilled cheese. Try to hide your UHF anti-amp white supremacist style prison tattoos, which he has all over his entire body.
Right.
So like he comes out of the shower and he's a scrawny dude. He's not super built at all, but you're like, oh, those are terribly horrible, prejudicial against amp tattoos. Like a lot of them.
Mm.
And there's a lot of them. And if you catch him, he's embarrassed and puts on a shirt really quick and that sort of thing. So that is what he does. He's trying to be aware of if Bygone would like him to leave. That is probably the main thing that he would be doing. And then if he noticed that she would like him to leave, he would then try to do nicer things.
You know what? I'm going to say that since Bygone rolled so well on her hospitality, the idea that she would want you to leave does not enter your mind.
Then he finally feels like he's comfortable then.
Yes.
for a while. He doesn't think that way.
I mean, at this point, like she's like a college student where like if you just end up crashing on her couch, she's not gonna at this point you haven't cramped her style or anything like that. She's not gonna be like, no, you have to leave. Like it's fine.
Yeah, like the couch.
As his roommate, Crystal, as his roommate, does Bygone see him and she's like, I'm looking on the internet for information? Does she like, hey, can you look for something? Or do you poke him or prod him at all? You don't have to.
I mean, she wouldn't like the first week. Like she probably wouldn't even think about it because she's not used to being around other people.
Right.
So she would very much be like, oh yeah, whatever. The food's over there. Make yourself at home and go do her own thing. At least for now.
Okay, sounds good.
Then, I guess Aloy, the only question I would have is that does Retribution's Infamous come up on her searches, and does she learn anything about his background? That's one of my
yeah, I probably would say yeah.
So like in one of the newspaper clippings, like one of the newspaper reports of like if Retribution was listed as one of the people who were missing, it's that like comma thing where it's like blah blah Kirk Kaplan, known as Retribution, comma a main participant in the bombing of the Seeker Hospital in years back, comma is amongst the missing. Like it's that level of like thing. So you know that he was involved in like an attack that killed like a bunch of people. He bombed a building with some UHF people.
All right.
But that's legitimately
one of many.
Yeah, one of many. Right? It's like a comma. But knowing him, he's probably not the mastermind behind it. That would also probably be a pretty easy read.
Might make morning coffee awkward.
Yeah.
100%. Super nice guy.
I mean, Bygone would probably be like really awkward around him for if she figures that out, and then like not bring it up for a little bit. Just he's like, I don't want to talk about this right now.
he's very oblivious to that. So,
Martin, what does Serpentine do with week 2?
First, I do want to point out it's probably reasonably easy to get all of us along in one small apartment, since I can kind of squeeze into small spaces and Carol can phase. So it's like we don't take up all that much space, really.
Yeah.
But yes, definitely do want to schedule an appointment and get checked out, x-rayed, etc. with an amp-friendly doctor. See if anything's weird, blood test, that kind of stuff.
Okay, yeah. I'm going to say that when they run their tests, like they run them at the beginning of the week, and then you get the results back after the fact. And they say that there was based on your other medical records that you had forwarded over from your other doctors, there was a higher than normal iron in your blood, like really, really high. And there was also some sort of weird compound, some sort of chemical that they're unable to actually, figure out what it is. It's not anything that's in normal medicine.
Well, that's a reason to start heavy breathing exercises. Wow, okay. I, by the way, am sharing everything I find out from the doctor and from Atlantis with Bygone, Retribution, and Wraith as I find it out. I see no reason to keep these things secret, at least.
Yeah, definitely. Did you want to do anything else with your week? Like, what were you doing for the days when you were waiting for your results?
Probably helping out with my next thing was basically what Crystal was doing, like checking with AMP, SAP, contacts, both to see if anyone has been abducted, AMP or otherwise.
Okay.
And because, I mean, Serpentine was doing that kind of meeting with different groups and for Atlantis to build connections and all.
Yeah.
So that also probably just like Serpentine's probably going to be the with the big mouth. Serpentine's probably going to be the one to go like, so those are some interesting tattoos. Retribution. Want to tell us about that?
Yeah, I was in prison. I got these in prison. Oh yeah, no, okay, sure. Do you know what the UHF is?
I say I'm familiar with them.
Yeah, I used to be associated with the UHF.
That's interesting.
Are we all in the room? I just gotta know.
Let's say yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
he's not going to lie about it. He's like,
Great.
Serpentine does not care. He went back and made sure that Retribution was okay and tried to get into a fight on Retribution's side because they were all in the same thing. But he's not going to be quiet about this if he feels like, okay, what is this guy about?
So you were in prison. Were you in prison for bombing a whole bunch of people?
yeah, I was involved in that.
How were you involved in that?
I carried bombs and put bombs on the ground, and then bombs blew up.
Why would you do that to a bunch of people? Has Bicon shared the stuff about it being a hospital or something?
No, she's saying this right now. This is the first time she's saying this.
Okay, so I don't mention why would you do that to a bunch of people?
Yeah. Okay. So you say that?
Yeah.
Oh, because extremist groups are fucking dumb.
So you were
That's
part
why.
of an extremist group.
Yeah, the UHF is an extremist group.
But you sound
Yeah,
like you don't
I was
like them
young and
anymore.
stupid.
Ah.
Fortunately,
Okay.
I hope none of you guys ever had to fall in with a group like that.
I mean, I haven't fallen in with any group, thankfully, by the looks of it.
No, they're not all bad. It's just that one's particularly predatory, I think is the word that you
Yeah, I'm sure other groups are just fine.
He only knows his, right? And the Seekers. They're
So-
kind of nice.
So you didn't organize bombing the hospital.
No, I that's a bit out of my scope, I think. He kind of chuckled.
Hospital?
I mean, it was a research facility and a hospital. It was blown up because of the research. The hospital was like a byproduct.
You had some very persuasive friends. I just have to say that.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I was a soldier, right? Like soldiers do terrible things all the time.
I wouldn't know. I don't know any.
I think the
So-
soldier part makes Serpentine go, okay,
Mhm.
all right.
So what are your views on all of this now?
Like the whole world, or
Like the UHF and extremist groups like that and the anti-AMP things.
Oh yeah. I think it's a little silly at this point. I mean, I think it's probably always silly. I think anytime that people act out of fear, that they oftentimes want to attack the other. So it seems like amps were just a convenient kind of target.
That's quite deep.
Can I see if he's like any sort of intuition type of thing into that? If he's being truthful.
It sounds like he is.
Okay.
Yeah.
There might be more to the story, maybe, but like,
The surface of it is
Yeah, so yeah, you don't sense that he's like outwardly trying to lie or anything. And honestly, from all the interactions other than this particular one we've had with him, he seems to be a pretty chill dude who has gone out of his way to cover up tattoos that might bring about this conversation. So,
okay.
and he's super good at making his bed.
well, yes,
Very, very organized with his.
Okay.
he's really good at making your fold-out couch.
I mean, that's a valuable skill.
Okay.
I don't ever make beds, so it's definitely a skill I don't have.
Yeah, unnecessary.
So, okay, so you're not a part of that anymore. This is just the
No, they're not. They're not. Really,
remnants of bad decisions.
yeah, I was really dumb and a kid, and now I'm like slightly less dumb, and I guess an adult. I'm at least not dumb in that way anymore. I'm dumb in new and interesting ways that are less hateful.
That's fair. Can't fault you with that one.
I'm happy that none of the rest of you got involved in any of that nonsense.
Yeah,
Me too.
I agree.
Um,
Well, what does
do you-
Rain do with this week?
Well,
Second
she's
week
actually
there.
going to be contacting everyone else because one, when Serpentine tells her about his results, the test results, although you said this was closer to the end of the week, she's going to look at Bygone and go, "Hey, we still have those vials."
We do. Maybe we could. Is there like a facility that Serpentine? Do you have any connection to like research facilities?
Well, the doctor who looked at you, you said that they had found a high iron and a compound that they couldn't identify. And she holds up the red and blue vials. Do you think they could try to match it against these?
There are people who know a lot about the materials that make up things and how to recycle.
What I meant was these vials that we found in there, could they have put this in us? Is that why you have high iron and maybe strange compounds in you?
Maybe, yeah.
You said it was an amp-friendly doctor. Could they look at these?
Sure. None of the rest of us recognize these vials, do we?
No.
Oh no, she
It's
and
a
I
red
found
blue
them.
Vial. Yeah.
No, but the vials are the ones that they found in the crates in the prison.
Well, you and Retribution were fighting in the hallway.
Yeah.
Right. Martin remembers it. Yeah. But Martin also wasn't sure if maybe Retribution had encountered them through his work with the Seekers and stuff.
No, this is stuff you guys never
Oh wow,
seen.
y'all blinked.
Okay.
I'm just trying to put two and two together and make maybe they were putting this junk in us.
Yeah.
I mean, that's definitely a good start. I think we should. I don't think we should get it to a doctor. Doctors really don't do research, do they?
Well, if they could match what's in the vial with his results, maybe we could at least know if it was used on us. Then we can go to the next step of actually finding someone who could break it down and tell us what it does.
Okay.
That sounds like a plan.
And we each have a vial of each color, so there's
Yeah.
two of them, so we don't have to like give up the whole thing. We definitely have some extra.
Well, that's what I was at. That's actually what I was about to ask. Do you give the doctor both a red and a blue? Do you just give him a blue, just a red?
I would give them both just to compare against his blood, whatever they took to find whatever was in his system.
Okay.
And that would be closer to the end of the week then. But
So results will come next week. Did you have
Okay.
anything else you wanted to actively do though in the second week?
yes, I want to ask the others. Well, I don't know. I know Kirk is staying with Coraline. Where are you? Are you still staying with her? And she's looking at Serpentine.
For the moment,
Okay, because I went back to my apartment and there was something missing, a picture. Did they maybe take anything from your place?
I'll look. I look around my apartment.
Okay, first of all, I'm assuming it was them because I don't know anyone else who would go rummaging around my place and put everything back where it belonged.
That's really hard to do, to like put stuff back the right way.
Yeah, or they may have just taken the picture, but I kind of don't know why. So I was just going to see if they did anything to your place.
Can I search around
And
my
you
place?
were there.
I guess I think I was only there for like a day or so, but that would have been time for them to find out who I was and toss my place or go looking through my place.
You were there the shortest of all of us.
Yeah.
I got grabbed on campus. I phased through some stuff because my friend and I were attacked, and I just wanted a straight path out of there. So
Is your friend okay?
I don't know.
If you want
I
to make
probably
that
would-
roll, Crystal, you can.
Yeah.
Yeah. Perception
It's
and knowledge.
Okay. 17.
Okay. You don't notice anything missing or misplaced or anything in your apartment.
Okay.
Seems like it's all good.
All right. Yeah. I mean, nothing seems out of place with mine.
Okay. All right. Aloy, there's a third thing I want to do, and
Okay.
that is check in on the professor.
Okay.
And yeah, the first
he's a
week she probably would have called
professor
her friend.
He's a professor of what again?
I'm gonna.
Is it just like
Special-
archaeology or
Well, yeah, but he mostly Nordic stuff, so that's why he was in Denmark, in that background that I sent.
Okay.
So
Sounds good. All right. So you check in with him. He's, do you call him or do you visit his office?
she'll just text him and say, "Hey, how's it going? Sorry I missed class. I was under the weather."
Oh, you receive a quick text back, and well, it's like the type of text a professor sends. So lots of complete sentences and periods and sentence structure and whatnot. But it basically says like, no worries, of course, if you need to take an extra few days, just let me know and I can always extend a deadline. You're my favorite student, so it's fine. Just be sure to let me know when you can come back and start TAing again. Until then, I'll have Nigel step in your place. So
I now feel sorry for the students and just text back, "Okay, I'll let you know."
yeah, Nigel's a dick.
Absolutely.
Anybody named Nigel is. No, I'm just kidding.
Anyway, so
I apologize. Anybody here is watching it is named Nigel. I apologize.
other than I guess, she would have called her parents by now and checked in on her friend, and I just kind of want to get her all up to there. But the getting the compound checked out, and so if he's okay, I guess everything's okay. She's just it's nagging her about that picture.
Yep.
Is Wraith staying at her apartment or is she staying at Bygone's apartment?
She went back to her own apartment and actually gave Bygone money for groceries. She's like 7 years older than those two. I think you and she are the same age, but yeah, she's just kind of like, "Here, child, groceries, money, food, real food."
The only thing Kirk would have said is that he definitely would have put it out there, like, if you wanted someone else to stay with you because you were worried about safety, like he'd offer to do that. Like he wouldn't be like, "I should come." He'd be like,
"Oh,
well, no, like right now things are just weird."
She might say. I think she'd say yes to that, just because if Serpentine's also staying with her, let's just kind of that seems to be a little bit of a burden. She doesn't say that part out loud. That's her inside voice. But yeah, she would do that. She's a little hesitant, but she feels that she could quickly get out of any situation that he might put her in. So
There you go. Well, awesome then. So going into week 3, Bygone, what is Bygone doing?
All right, so well, she'd probably go shopping. But it'd be
Make a shopping check. Make a shopping plus seed.
And but it'd be like, Wraith would give her the money, and then she wouldn't do it for like a couple of days, and then she'd be like, "Oh, I probably should go do this."
Right.
Is how that's gonna go down, because so she'd go shopping and make sure that there's some food, and some of it's not like quite complete meals, but there's food there, and you can kind of piece stuff together.
eat an apple.
I think with both Bygone and Serpentine being teens, they're probably used to eating just ramen all the time. It's a thing, and they're okay with it too.
And you left the teenagers alone together.
Yeah, we did. Yeah,
the colored hair, the dyed hair teenagers.
She's new at this adult thing.
I mean, she probably also, like, if Serpentine needed backup or something, she'd probably go with him on whatever he's doing.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna skip Ray real quick then. Martin, is Serpentine doing anything active then with Bygone as a backup?
I did, other than trying to compare the vials that Wraith suggested.
Well, that's good.
I did want.
So you try to call back to get the results of, the test, and the line is disconnected.
Well, that's not ominous at all.
Oh, oh no.
Can we go check out the doctor's office that I went to?
Yep, it's all cleared out.
See.
No employees, nobody there.
Do we all go do that or no? Just
I assumed it was Martin with Bygone, but it depends on whether after Serpentine saw the disconnected number, did he call all of you?
Yep.
Yeah. So Bygone's there, but if all you're doing is checking out a doctor's office, he might not necessarily call in the A team, the whole team.
If I was going to do it, I probably would have at least told Wraith, because she was the one who donated the 2 vials. Do we still have them, or did she donate them last week to be checked on?
I mean, you gave the samples to the doctor's office. That's half of what you had.
Half of what we have. I have the other half. Okay.
So Wraith probably knows, but I was figuring Bygone and Serpentine would be.
Yeah,
there.
that makes sense. So the entire office is cleared out. No decals, like how they put like the stuff on the window, like doctor whatever, like that's gone. You look inside, it's cleared out entirely.
Wraith would have asked Kirk to come with her, by the way, so there is a reason for all 4 of us to be there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. It's as if they were never there.
what kind of part of town is it in? The doctor's office.
It's kind of suburban. Like it's kind of like this was a doctor's office in like an office park that's like across from like a swanky suburban neighborhood down the street from like a Publix shopping center area, like that sort of thing.
And there's other like office, like there's other
there's tons of other offices and stuff like that. Yeah. So this was just one of the many offices that there was something there and now there is not.
So
Lloyd, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Kirk, I mean, we could ask around, right?
Of course.
Are there
So-
security cameras?
might know.
None pointed here.
Okay.
Like, what's the business that is closest to this doctor's office? It's an
like-
office of what sort?
Yeah, like the one to the left is a chiropractor. The one to the right is like an aromatherapist.
So he's like cracking backs or whatever that is.
Yeah, the chiropractor.
Question mark. He's asking everyone else where you guys.
Oh, the aromatherapy.
No, what is that?
It's stuff that smells nice and makes you feel good.
Oh, all right. Like her
Smells connected to memory, though. Might be interesting to see if they remember anything about their neighbors.
Mm.
All right. I can go ask, but I'm off-putting.
Well, let's figure out
Face
who
tattoo,
we're.
hair grown over it, giant hoodie, knuckle tats, right? Like,
We
I'll
could
do
both split up. Yeah, you and you and Serpentine could go to the chiropractor, and we can go over to the aromatherapist and see if any odd things were happening right before the doctor's office moved.
Yeah, like when they left, and
Yeah.
like if they saw
How
him
long?
weird.
How long they were there before?
Yeah. That's a really good question.
All right.
All right, cool.
Also,
Awesome.
I'm amused by what a chiropractor would think of someone who stretches out their body, for 40 feet or
So-
something.
So real quick, just to confirm, you guys are gonna go both. You're splitting up, but you're asking basically the same questions
Correct.
to both places.
And we're not going to be very far from each other. I just want to point that out to the GM.
So
There's an empty office building between us.
so the question is, how long was the doctor's office here, and what
What's weird?
when did they leave or whatever?
What's
Right?
notable
Yeah.
or weird?
Cool. So who is the one doing the talking at each of the locations? The two of you will make rolls.
Serpentine and you want me to do it? I can do it.
Sure. I want to be looking around, just to see,
Okay.
because they might also not be friendly, so we don't know.
All right.
Very cool. Well, that is going to be let's see, persuasion and let's say discipline.
Gotta keep on tap.
Yes.
Can we add anything for our loyalties to this role?
I would say probably add truth if you were going to add anything.
Okay, I wasn't sure
I
if
think
community might work or something, but yeah, truth is just as good.
Okay.
So that'll be a total of 5.
Oh, wow.
I got 8.
A total of 5 to add once I roll. I haven't
Oh.
rolled yet.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, like, wow.
I got 8 total.
Okay.
Nice.
It's only a 12 for me.
Okay.
If I notice her kind of, kind of tripping over words or something, or however, can I step in?
Oh,
You could step in just
no.
because it was a bad roll. If it was a good roll, would you have stepped in? Wait a minute.
I got truth.
Pygon would have been like, "Hey, have you seen that the doctor's office has disappeared like overnight? What happened?" Like,
That's shady, and something terrible must have happened. Do you know anything about it? You need to go.
Well, no, like literally, Crystal, you asked the question. You went to the aromatherapist, and the aromatherapist says, I'm not actually even sure. We've only really been here for a couple of weeks ourselves. So they
Oh.
don't have any inside information just due to circumstances.
That's
Though
not-
you did get a 12, right, Martin? You said 12?
Correct. A total of 12.
Okay. So then with your 12, you can ask one of your 2 questions and get a good answer.
Okay, so the 2 questions was how long had the had the doctor's office been there, and what happened? When did they
Correct.
disappear? Sort of.
They leave, right?
I think it's probably best. When did they leave?
You
That's
can
more
confer.
important.
You can confer if you want to, for which answer you want.
Any preferences for either of those two?
I would like to know when they left because that gives us a trail.
And Wraith, any thoughts?
Oh, are we conferring before we split up?
No, just conferring. Just which of the two questions? Conferring with the other players.
Oh,
No, I
well,
don't-
yeah, when they left for sure, but
Okay.
Yeah. So when did they leave?
Cool. So I'm going to say that you drop the samples off on probably a Thursday, and the answer you get is they woke up, they came into the office, and they were gone Friday. Like, they were gone in the night. They did not see anything. They didn't see any trucks, nothing to that effect. They were there on Thursday, and then we came back in on Friday, and they were gone.
Thanks.
Thank you for your, for
Thanks,
your help.
bye. See you later.
okay.
We have more of that. This is while we're outside. I'm assuming we
Yeah.
have more of that stuff, right?
We do, but
I have a friend of mine who's associated with the Seekers. I mean, they still have some labs left, and he looks pointedly at Bygone.
Who's the
Some labs
Seekers?
left. Oh,
uh,
the Seekers of Enlightenment. They're
I've heard of them.
They're like-
Although they're out there, right?
Yeah.
yeah,
At this point, they're definitely out there.
they're
Don't know
they're
much
good.
about
They're
it.
good people.
Okay.
Like they're trying to do the right thing, and they're real smart. They got a doctor that's in charge of some really good lawyers. Like, they're connected people, so they might know. They know someone who knows something.
Yeah, and the Seekers spend a lot of time researching the AMP phenomena and trying to get to scientific consensus on things and all
And-
that.
Now that piques her curiosity.
And my comrade, right? Because that represents an NPC, right? That loyalty comrade.
Yeah.
My comrade is the Seeker that they made me live with, right? Like,
Okay.
you know what I mean? Like my house arrest seeker.
Yeah.
I ingratiated myself to them by being like an amazing house guest, right? And just like they took me in for whatever reason. Maybe they had a trouble pass as well.
What is their name?
Their seeker name is Diatribe. I don't even know what that word means, but it's the first word I thought of. Someone else can tell me.
No, it's fine. I'm actually going to say that his name is Dynatribe because he often wears his favorite hoodie has like dinosaur patterns on it.
Nice.
So that's why he goes by Dynatribe.
Oh, is it Dynatribe, and he can become multiple dinosaur people with hoodies on?
Actually, he has no powers.
That's even better.
Yeah. So, but even the saps within the Seekers take on code names.
Oh, that's fun.
So, yes.
Cool.
By the way, Dr. Luminous, he was called Dr. Luminous before they ever knew he had powers. Like, it's just a thing. That's why his name is like, he doesn't have light powers or anything. Like, his name has nothing to do with what he does. It would have been so coincidental if he had light powers in the end. I would have been like, nah, I'm sorry.
Nah,
I couldn't write it that way. Just it
too
would
on
never
the
happen.
nose.
Let's
So
see.
I can reach
Oh,
out.
I wasn't paying attention to the chat, but yes, Crystal.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure that we, didn't get demonetized.
No, you're fine. So it's fine. Maybe when we do get monetized later, then I might care about it. But right now, it's a free for all.
Okay.
Oh, don't tell me that.
So,
So do you
so
want
I'm gonna count that as like a group thing that you guys all did. So if you guys wanted to do anything else during the third week, you definitely can.
The only thing Rhett would have done is buy a weighted blanket for Bygone because they're really comfortable as a thank you.
Aw.
That's really nice.
He's a super nice guy.
Probably, yeah, she'd probably like be like, "Oh, this is so soft," and yeah, like, oh yeah,
Nicest
Yeah,
thing you can have in your house.
Um,
Women are super important.
Ray, did you ever tell the others about your disappearing lawyer friend?
Probably in a way where once like people are like, "Oh, that's weird," he'd like catch up to that. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
yeah,
Like, it wouldn't be frontal lobe thoughts. It'd be like he'd be like, "Oh wait, yeah, that is weird, right?" So like he'd be like, "Oh, this happened too." Like,
I picture Retribution going like, and now my lawyer's disappeared, and you guys are like, oh,
yeah,
that's
sure, yeah.
You know,
100%.
I
I
can't
can't call my
not even
lawyer.
returning your call. That sucks. It's
I
like,
I
oh,
thought you had said that they were. I thought you had already mentioned your lawyer was associated with the Seekers.
No, one that a lawyer, I absolutely love that. He's like, "Oh man, I can't call my lawyer because he disappeared." And everyone in the group's like,
But
It's like,
if I recall, yeah, he mentioned last episode that his lawyer worked with the Seekers.
Okay, so this is starting to get extraordinarily terrifying.
So, do you want me to read
Real
out?
quick, Ray, real quick. You mentioned Dino Tribe. Did you want to do something with Dino Tribe, or you just wanted to give a name to somebody?
No, I mean, I think that he would be the person, if the lawyer's not available, he would be the person that Kirk would contact
Okay.
to be like, I have some important stuff, something weird's going on. Who do you know that's available to do like sciencey stuff?
Okay. He says that he can hook you up with somebody, but probably not till next week.
Oh, right on, yeah. And thanks for sending me that money. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, dude, Seekers are loaded, man. I get so much as my stipend, so it's fine.
That's crazy, man. I owe you laundry. I'm sorry, man.
Yeah, man. No, man, it's that government money. I can try and get you a job with them. Seriously.
Maybe eventually.
All right.
Yeah, that'd be yeah. I don't know what they need me to do, but yeah, we'll talk about it. Thanks,
Dude, I
man.
don't do anything. It's okay.
That's not okay, man. You gotta carry
No, he's
your
like, I
own
literally like my job for a long time was just hanging out with you and making sure you didn't do anything else bad. Like that was my gig, and I got paid a lot of money for it. So
Hey, maybe I could do that for like other people. Oh,
yeah, I
that'd be
mean, I
nice.
have a couple of other people I deal with. Yes.
Oh, I could do your job. Uh-oh.
I mean, you can't do mine. You can do it alongside me. You ain't taking my job though.
Can you be like my boss? That'd be great.
Whoa, that would be cool. I should ask for a promotion. All right, so
you
next,
deserve it. You've been really great at making sure I don't do terrible stuff.
Bill and Ted Amp Edition.
that's hilarious. Okay, cool. So you're gonna do that, and then we'll follow up with that the following week. Carol, did you want to do anything after finding out that the doctor's office and the samples that you gave are gone?
Quietly freak out in the closet somewhere. Besides that, let's see.
I mean, you can spend the whole
She's-
week doing that. That seems reasonable.
It would. No, she's actually going to try to get in contact with her mentor, the one who only contacts her and only when she's in the library.
Ooh.
So, yeah, she's going to go there late one night and trying to remember that she does have a way out, at least if she's not, in power dampening handcuffs.
Right.
Um,
Do you have an idea of what that is, or did you leave that open for me? Because I had an idea, but I want to make sure it doesn't.
for my mentor?
Yes.
Yeah, I left that very Phantom-esque on purpose.
Just making sure. Just making sure. All right. So you are going to try to
I trust
commune
you,
with
said the
the-
player sillily. I said, "Oh, I trust you," said the player.
So to commune, we're gonna make that a discipline and empathy roll,
Okay, let me get my stats.
and you will need a 20 to to make this roll?
Well, discipline and empathy.
Discipline, empathy.
Okay, that's actually not bad. I got a shot. Shit, 17. So that's 17 and 7, 24.
Oh, look at you. Cool. So how do you try to commune so that I can set this up correctly? Like, do you just go in and close your eyes and say, "Where are you, motherfucker?" Or like, do you light candles?
Today I might.
Open a black book and like what do you do?
No, he comes when she's studying.
So, but
She's
but
just-
previously it seemed like he came whenever he wanted to. You didn't ask him. So how are you kind of forcing the engagement?
Okay. The library, I'm assuming, has private study carrels.
Yes.
Okay. So she'll check out one of those, and they're usually only about an hour. I'm going back on my own library experience working at U of L.
Well, they know you in the library pretty well, so if you wanted it for additional time, it wouldn't be an issue.
Okay, so she'll do that, and I guess this time, yeah, she would focus on the lessons he's already taught her with her powers.
Okay.
And she'll say very, very quietly, "I know you're here. You have to be here. Please be here. I need you."
Sounds good. Well, I mean, you already rolled, so we already know he shows up. So you are, so you're sitting there and you have your book open, and an eye opens up on one side of the page spread, and then another eye on the other side.
Oh,
And you hear a voice in your mind, and it says, "I'm listening."
okay. And then she's just everything. And she probably starts crying halfway through it because she hasn't really allowed herself to process this.
Mm-hmm.
And with everything that's been happening, everything just kind of hits her at once. She could have died multiple times. These people who she's with, she half the time doesn't sure she can trust them, and half the time she wants to, adopt two of them. And just, yeah, once she just kind of lets it all out, she just kind of slumps forward, like, and I don't know what to do.
So you somehow feel like a very calming aura kind of around
Okay.
you. And the voice is kind of like, all you have to do is follow your instincts and they will lead you to the right path.
All I've been doing is reacting, though. I mean, I feel like I should have a plan. And all these people are disappearing. And what if it's, my friends next, my professor, my parents?
So no longer react.
Right. You don't happen to know anyone I could trust to look at these samples, do you?
Let me see. The voice says, the only way for me to assist, he says, if I was to assist you in this, it would mean you would not be completing this task.
Right. Thank you for your guidance.
I mean, but specifically, Carol, if you wanted to ask him something like as the GM, if you want me to answer a question, I can give you an answer. But yeah, I'm not quite ready for your mentor to reveal himself, and he would have to reveal himself. Like you would know who he was,
Right.
and referred you to somebody. So
Okay. No. Okay. So, which thread should I pull on first?
Okay.
That's what she asks him. Just the disappearances, The compound that we took, you know, should we be watching each other's? Oh no, I don't want to say that because we should be watching each other's backs.
Yeah, well, yeah, I was gonna say definitely do that one. If I have to choose, do that one.
So one of those two is like the disappearances or the compound.
Yeah. So the question that he will ask is, what is the result that you are looking for?
I just want to know who are they? The ones doing this to us.
Then he says you should follow the serum then.
Okay.
That would be the thread to pull
Okay.
to find that out.
Thank you.
Not a problem. All right.
I'm guessing he blinks and the book is back complete.
Yeah. He blinks and the book is back to normal. Exactly. Martin, were you going to do anything else active in week 3?
The other thing, I mean, I probably should check in with various family and my roommate back on Atlantis and
like
stuff.
I assume that,
but
like a lot of that stuff can just
the other
kinda
thing I
happen.
really
Like, did you want to do anything like active? Like, I want to.
one thing I did make a note of was that I really wanted to explore the area and specifically the bodies of water in the area. So like parts of Lake Michigan, the Chicago River, Illinois River, Calumet, etc., and just kind of get a feel for them, know escape routes and dangers and hideaways and stuff in them, become familiar
That
with
sounds great, actually.
local waterways.
While you're doing that, I'm going to say that you just so happen upon a flyer that, and it's a flyer that seems to have almost been like it got in your hand almost by accident. Like somebody bumped into you and then you had a flyer in your hand and you turned around and you're like, there's a crowd of people. I have no clue who just gave this to me. Exactly. It looks just like that. But except it's got like cool graffiti art and all that stuff. But it actually says, are you looking for, let me see. Are you looking for a way to do the most good? Join the Freedom League.
Cool name. Yeah.
So you do have that, and there's like an address on it and a time is what I'll say, and the time is like the following week.
I'll have to check that out then.
Cool. All right.
And share that with others.
Yeah. Let me write down that I just made that in the game. That should probably write that. So Ray, anything else Retribution's gonna do?
No, I mean, unless we already said we're gonna meet up with the Sciencey people next week. Right, continue to find Oxy. But now that he has his money from his now that he has access to his Wealth 1, it is probably easier.
Yeah.
But
all right, that sounds good. And in Bygone, anything else? I just want to make sure before we move on to the last week. All right, cool.
No.
So week 4, what are we all doing? Should I go in order again, or does anybody like want to jump and say like I'm definitely doing this thing?
Well, hopefully we get to meet with somebody from the Seekers.
Okay.
Who can help us science or claim to help us science or something.
Okay, so you set up an appointment with Dyna Tribe this week, and he's going to bring you to one of the Seeker facilities in the city.
Cool.
So, are you going to go by yourself, or is somebody else going to go with you?
No, I mean I'm going to bring the Scooby Doo bunch because that's like what you do.
So everybody's going?
Yeah.
Oh,
He
yeah.
invite everyone, and people say like, "I don't want to do it."
Yeah.
Well, that's why I'm asking too. Yes, like
Well, she's
it could be like,
definitely
he's gonna go
interested
do that,
in.
but I want to go do this other thing. Like, I'm just making sure.
She's definitely interested in meeting the Seekers. They sound very logical and academic, and that seems safe right now.
Okay. Right. Well, then you guys go to the Seeker facility. And unlike in the past where they kind of were just working out of random labs like everywhere, this one it's a government run Seeker facility. So it's like it's almost like a small college campus with like several buildings and lots of funding towards it. So Dynatribe actually brings you, and when you're walking around on the grounds, even just pulling up in like your car or whatever, like it's like there's lots of people who seem to have powers and others who don't, and they seem to get along really well. And it's one of those sorts of like, wow, it's interesting because outside of this facility, it almost feels like everybody is at each other's throats. But like as soon as you walk in, it's just like, no, everybody seems to be getting along pretty well. So,
And we don't feel any urges to go smash on anyone?
no, most definitely not. And nobody
And then-
seems to be acting like that towards you either.
And then for Kirk, you notice he's giving a lot of hugs to people in the service industry portion of this compound, right? So like he knows like all the guards, he knows like all like the people who are like secretaries, right? Like
Yeah.
the cleaners, like and he's like hugging people.
Yeah.
So
Okay. So Dynatribe brings you in. You see like he gets stopped like right before he brings you in by a woman with like silver skin. And he's like, "Oh, hold on, I have to go deal with her real quick." And they have like a talk off to the side, and then he comes back and then is eventually able to then lead you into the building. So he says, "So yeah, so you wanted to so what is it that you want us to check out here?"
is this Dynatribe talking?
It's Dynatribe. He's like, "So like this is the place. It's really awesome. Like, and it's state of the art, like everything you could ever think of. All the computers are all hologram Iron Man computers. Like it's it's the future in here." So he's like, "Yeah, so there's a million people that we could talk to in here. Just tell me what you need and I'll point you in the right direction."
What do you think makes sense?
Well,
Looking at the rest of you.
we need someone who can analyze chemical compounds. And she looks over at Bygone. And
So
do you have him?
Yep, Bygone will pull out the 2 vials that she has and says, "We were taken to a facility and held there, and when we were able to escape, we recovered these, and we don't know what they are."
Okay.
Yeah.
He says, yeah, that sounds so we need to check out these chemicals and figure out what they are. That makes sense.
And honestly, I wouldn't mind knowing if any of that is in us. Because do you have your well, I guess you wouldn't have any of the results other than you had high iron and unknown compounds in your blood.
Yeah, we need a medical workup to see if we've been messed with.
Yeah.
That makes
Because
sense.
we were stolen, we were kidnapped and drugged, and I think they were controlling other amps too. I punched this lady, and then I punched this other guy, and there's like a devil guy there, and a wolf guy, and I want to know who those people are, right? So like Kirk finally like comes together like, and I need someone who can tell me about this, and I mean, why were they all there? And how did everything blow up, right? So he spirals into some like
Right, I gotcha.
like scatterbrained thing.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
they
that-
had collars on them.
Yeah.
He says, yeah, there are because Dynatribe will say it because he kind of knows about some of the stuff here. He said, yeah, the there was an underground type of thing happening where amps were being controlled. That should have ended, though. There shouldn't be any more of those. So
There were a lot.
Oh,
the
like
fact
there was like in the past there was one. This one is new.
I
Is that
mean,
what
it's what it sounds like.
Oh, okay.
I mean, he's like, I don't know. I'm just hearing it from you guys for the first time. I haven't done any research or anything. But yeah, we've actually gotten a few people here who used to be in a government facility under control of, the government. So yeah, I mean,
We're those.
What's that?
We're those. That happened to us too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm definitely glad that it didn't happen to you guys. Like, did you guys get installed with collars?
No.
Oh no.
Okay. All right, because I didn't notice anything on your necks. So, well, I mean, but that's good though. That's good that you did not have that happen to you. So that's very, very good. So yeah, let me get you guys to Dr. Glass. He's gonna help you out.
Oh, great. Thanks, Dino Tribe.
Not a problem. That's what I'm here for. So he walks you back into an office. It says, Dr. Glass. You see this man, he looks, very well dressed. He's, tall. He looks younger and more fashionable than most doctors. Like he takes a lot of pride in his appearance. And he walks around with a cane. So, because he hurt his leg. So there you go. So Dr. Glass, he said, so he's like, yeah, so immediately we can definitely get you guys tested, and we'll, run you through, and we'll be able to take care of you.
Thank you.
Not a problem. Obviously, here are some forms that you'll need to sign, giving us consent and making sure that we can get your medical records from your other doctor. So you guys spend a good 30 minutes filling out paperwork because still got to do it. It's the doctor's office. If you guys have insurance, it's probably going to help you guys. No, I'm just kidding. No, he'll definitely take care of you. He does not ask for payment. So yes, during the course of the them running tests on you and everything, they do offer each of you a booster shot. Are any of you interested in a booster shot?
What does that
What does it do?
Oh, well, there were obviously you guys know about the rampagers and whatnot. What a booster shot allows it basically will help suppress any possible mutations that you might have, and will make it so that trying to think of the right wording, picture more medical words coming out of my mouth than are actually coming out of my mouth. But basically protects you against mutations and any other, it suppresses any law of attraction, instincts, and stuff like that. It's mostly just it's just a really good shot for amps to get so that they are extra healthy, and no complications with their powers.
Yeah,
She'll take it because she was being chased by a rampager, and she does not want. Yeah,
There you go.
It's bygones. Like the concept of a mutation is like, oh no. Mm-mm.
Yeah, Kirk does it because he believes that that's what they expect people should do. If that makes sense. If the Seekers say something's good for him, he will do it. Also, he's very sheepish around anyone who's not blue collar in this organization or Dino Tribe. He doesn't make eye contact.
Okay.
Very shut down.
Okay.
Around people who are not the
regular folk.
Regular folk. If it's anyone who's of anyone importance, he's just very sheepish.
And Serpentine?
I'm going to say Serpentine probably is going to politely turn it down.
Okay.
One of Chahaya, one of the founding five of Atlantis, at least was a mutant.
Yeah.
Before and they have similar powers. And if he develops a mutation, he will rethink that. But for now, he didn't go with the Blue Rain stuff. He's really upset about stuff messing with his body during the whole kidnapping thing.
Makes sense to me.
So he politely asked not to receive the booster shot.
And they don't push it. They just ask you, do you want one? Kind of like how you're in a doctor's office and they ask, do you want a flu shot? It's like, do you want it? No. Okay, cool. I'll just mark on here. You said no. It's fine. Like they're not pushy about it. Who took it though? Basically everybody but Serpentine.
Yep.
Okay. Just note that the three of you have +2 to any power activation rolls and against any disease or infection somewhere. It's for a number of days equal to your fortitude, but we're just going to say it extends into whatever after this week. So it's going to be for the rest of the session, essentially.
Okay.
It was power activation rolls, and what was the secondary effect?
And against any kind of sickness or anything like that.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Disease and sickness. And there are no known side effects to it, is what I'll say. Carol knows the side effects, but, there's no known side effects. Anyway. So, very good. So you guys run through a series of tests. They obviously take your blood and, do you hand over the vials to them as well? Okay.
Yes, I do.
Very cool. So they do take the vials, so they're going to run some tests on those.
Might want to put a tracker on anyone who touches it.
Yeah, she does say that these are the last two. We don't have any others. The other pair that we had,
Yeah.
we took to a doctor's office, and the doctor's office disappeared literally hours after.
Wow. Yeah, like they're like, that's definitely odd. There's a few different scenarios in which and all of them are bad.
Do you all have any contact with law enforcement you could maybe use to track down the doctor?
Well, I mean, we can always get track to find the doctor. We don't necessarily have command over the municipal law enforcement, but
just like a
we have
contact.
track, so we can send track after them if you would like.
Well, I don't know about after them. They're gone. I don't know if they're safe or if they were taken like we were.
Well, after them, as in to find them. Yeah, not like with guns drawn or anything.
It's been a rough few weeks.
Yeah, it sounds like it has been. So you do get. So I'm going to say it like, you're on the facility. So they're like, yeah, just like takes like 2 hours and they have results, as opposed to, the doctor would have to send away and then wait days to come back and whatnot. So you guys are all kind of in the same waiting room, and they say, well, actually, so they say, Dr. Glass comes back. He says, well, it appears that we gave you a booster, and the red vial seems to be almost a strange, separate kind of compound of the same booster shot that we gave you. So that's kind of odd that they would have the booster shots in, I said, the facility that you mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
And he says the other is actually there's a term. I'm trying to remember the term. There's a term in year 4, but essentially the Seekers made anybody who doesn't want to have powers anymore made a serum, so they can get a shot if they don't want to ever have powers anymore. And they used it as a weapon against rampagers to suppress their powers so that they would no longer be that, and they would just turn back to a regular person. And this serum is, he says, yeah, and this serum is kind of a strange compound of the same thing that has been used to suppress rampagers and make them into regular people again. Neither of which originate from here, though. So these are definitely not seeker serums, compounds. We did find that the booster, that's what you have in your system. So it's a similar kind of booster, but the three of you who actually have the booster now, like, you feel like amped, like energized from this booster, as opposed to the other kind that actually was more of like a sedative and was making like bleh, he says also that each of you has a small chip, like a small piece of technology. It's actually microscopic. Like, no one would be able to see it unless they had to, the machinery and stuff that we have here. It's actually inside each of your wrists. So it's something that we. What's that?
You get rid of that?
He says, yeah, I mean, obviously it would be, we'd have to go in there. It might be invasive. So obviously we weren't going to do anything without your permission. But yeah, we can remove those if that is something that you would like us to do.
Yes.
Yes, please.
Okay. So they do, I'm going to say you spend the rest of the day there.
Right.
It's not something that you need to be like knocked out for. It's not like surgery.
Right.
It's more like they come over with like a thing and, they put it around your wrist and it like magnetizes it out of you, or, something like that. People with superpowers have lots of things up their sleeve. And literally, like, it's almost like a grain of sand and when they actually pull it out of you. And it's like, again, it's something that no one would have ever detected otherwise.
What is it for? Was it tracking a chip or something?
We're not seeing any signals coming from it. So we're not exactly sure. I mean, we would need more time to run tests.
That's fair.
I'm just concerned was it like some kind of control thing?
What we found is that in the past, the control would need, a receiver of some sort. And, again, there's no signal coming from this or you receiving any kind of signal. So it doesn't seem like it is, but I mean, who's to tell?
Could you look at it and let us know? I mean, probably not today, but I'm just...
No, I mean, it's definitely piqued my interest. So I'm going to start in on the research on this. And yeah, definitely. As soon as I hear back, I will definitely let you know.
Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor.
Not a problem. Not a problem. Thank you for coming in, and hopefully you guys feel healthier going forward.
I mean, I definitely feel better, but could you answer one more question? That facility that we were at, what does that sound like to you?
Well, I mean, it sounds like it was one of it sounds like it was the chamber, but the chamber is the Aegis squad that's in the chamber, but
yeah,
it sounds very similar to that. There were other facilities, kind of like the Screw and whatnot. So, I mean, there were other chamber-like facilities, but I was pretty sure that most of them had been decommissioned.
There was this weird, like a tank with a person inside of it in the facility.
Well, half of a person.
Like half of a person. They had all these tubes and stuff running out of them, and it looked like they were either some sort of center of the experiment or being experimented on.
Oh my gosh.
And
it looked like there were some cybernetics there, I think.
Yeah, there was something going on with that.
Do you have any information on that, or
I would have kept at least the map of the location, like the place.
The schematics and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah,
Didn't you pick up a random binder of something?
Yeah, we did pick up some files.
we
Yep.
picked up some files. I
You
can,
guys couldn't decipher, right?
yeah, that we didn't know what was going on. I will get those to you because I wouldn't have thought to bring them.
Yeah.
I probably
No, that's fine. I mean, yeah, Crystal didn't even remember she had them.
No,
So-
so no, I didn't bring them, but
Okay.
I will definitely get those to you because I think that whatever was going on there, it was definitely important enough that when the facility was attacked, it was attacked by another amp.
okay.
And she'll Bygone will describe the woman with the claws.
Okay. All right. I mean, Dr. Glass doesn't. He's writing everything down, but he's like, "Oh my God, this is all. He doesn't know what the hell you guys are talking about, but it all sounds very intriguing." So,
Yeah, we got the curious one.
yeah. He's like, I wish I knew more to tell you, but I really don't.
No,
But
but
he says-
recording this is definitely important because if something happens to us, at least someone else knows.
Yes. Yeah. So, well, I mean, he definitely, he says he's on the case. He gets your guys' contact information, which he technically already has because he has your medical records now. So he's good to go. He'll research it. And unless you guys have anything else to ask here at the facility or anything like that.
Boy,
Yeah.
she asks for a brochure about the secrets.
They actually have one. Like they always have one
Yeah.
handy. So they give you
She
one.
takes
It's
a
like,
brochure.
state of the art funding. Like all you have to do is write up. The academia. I don't know the words. Essentially, you have to like submit like one of your like not
Ooh.
essays or whatever, like
A CV?
dissertations.
Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe they'd let her in the field and do a project. I like this idea.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, you basically have to submit like previous published writings, and then they'll be able to do it. And it even says like it's the Seekers are an organization of working together. So every SAP and has an AMP partner, and they work together.
Mhm.
So
She probably does have a couple of articles published with her professor.
yeah. Well, that
Cool.
works out.
She's going to stay on that for a while. I'm just moving her along that path.
No, it's fine. You'd be able to submit that though. Yes. All right. Very cool. So I'm going to say that was probably the 4th week of just like doing all of that. So in the 5th week, let's say, so normal day, where are you guys?
She's probably back at work.
Okay.
So
Go ahead.
sorry.
No, go ahead.
I think if at all possible, Rhett would be trying to audit courses or just go hang out on campus.
Okay.
Like,
She could probably help you with that.
and if that's maybe a thing that's been happening over time, right? Like he's a super eager learner, but clearly is undereducated. Like clearly, like coming up through his life, he was not given a lot of school learning. You learn he did not graduate high school. Does not have his GED. But he's really interested in all. He's like very positive, but not,
Right. And that would be why he's auditing the class and not signing up for the class. So
We will not accept him at this university. He'd have to write a thing.
right. Serpentine. What is Serpentine doing? Average day. Like it's Wednesday. It's whatever.
Serpentine is really interested in. He hopes to study psychology, and be like a doctor for amps, like a therapist for amps who deal with like the law of attraction and so many other stresses of getting their powers and stuff. So he probably would be like exploring campus and seeing like, could this be a good place to to study, you know, and that sort of stuff.
Okay. All right. And then Bygone?
So Bygone currently has no interest in going to college because she's never actually been to formal schooling. So she is most likely going to be spending her days either being out in the city and like observing or people watching, looking for any signs for her mom. Like now that she knows that those facilities exist,
Mm-hmm.
she's like, I'm wondering if my mom's in one of those facilities.
Mm.
And trying to figure out maybe what would have happened to her.
Okay. Very cool. All right. So you guys are, I'm going to say that you're in the park, Bygone. I'm going to say like you're in, you know, like one of the city parks. You have been kind of driving around to a bunch of different places, but you decided to have some scenery with like a sandwich for lunch. You
Yeah.
know? And I'm going to say that Retribution is kind of, you know, sitting in the back of the class, like auditing a class. Same thing with Serpentine. You guys can be auditing the same class if you want. Either way. And, you know, Wraith is being a TA, which means she's teaching the class because they're completely overworked. And yeah. So you guys are all kind of doing your thing. Excuse me. And then you all of a sudden see like everybody kind of like looking at their phones. Like everybody starts looking at their phones and they're all like, oh shit. So everybody starts kind of doing that. And then immediately over the for those at the school, over like the intercom says you know, everybody should evacuate. Or actually, no, it's probably not going to say that. Everybody, like you see, like you hear like a code going, like, you know, code, you know, 31T, code 31T. And as a TA, Wraith would know that code 31T is kind of like school shooter.
Okay. So in this case, they would probably have more of a lock the door, turn off the lights protocol rather than everyone get out.
Exactly. But again, everybody is on their phone. Everybody's kind of flipping out. And that's also in the park. Everybody is like, oh my God, what's happening? And then all of a sudden, all of the intercoms, all of the phones, all of the TV stations everywhere are all taken over. And you hear, we are the Faceless and we have come for, I don't want to say retribution now because it's Ray's name.
No, that's actually part of the joke.
Oh, okay. There you go. Well, basically he says, yes, we have come for retribution. So yeah. So like immediately you start like Crystal, you're in the park and like you're sitting there eating a sandwich and you see somebody walk by and immediately they take out a mask and they put it on and then they take out a knife and they stab the person right in front of them.
Oh my God. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same kind of thing in the classroom, actually. You immediately start hearing screams from out in the hallway.
Yep.
So everybody's like, oh my God, like, and everybody inside is like really, really scared. But I mean, you hear lots of screams happening outside. There's like probably, you know, you guys and like maybe 12 other people in this room, that sort of thing.
Okay, so you're saying it's happening in my classroom or outside the hallway only?
Outside in the hallway.
Well, she follows the protocol and she, you know, well.
Are we in Wraith's classroom? Is that the one that we're auditing?
Well, I mean, I was kind of doing that for convenience, just
That's fine.
but you know, it makes sense probably. Yes.
Kurt will take whatever class he's allowed to go to. He's not.
Well, since she was kind of letting you into the class, it makes sense. Like it's probably nothing official. You're probably just like, hey, can I hang out in your class? And she's like, yeah.
Right. I mean, she isn't teaching psychology, so I mean, Serpentine might just be
Oh,
waiting
that's true.
to.
So Serpentine, you're probably in a separate room then. Yes. So yeah, the two of you guys are in the room. You guys are like everybody in that room is scared. And like literally in your room, Serpentine, like there's a few people who are scared, and you like as the the hero, you're like, it's okay, it's okay. And then like two other students put on masks and start killing some of the other students in the room. Like it's crazy.
In my room or his?
No, in the room that Serpentine is in.
Okay.
I mean, Retribution will spring to action and try to save people.
Okay.
And
So that would require.
if he hears screaming in the hallway, he runs out into the hallway.
Okay,
He's not concerned for himself at all.
that works for me.
And wait, okay, everyone, and to the people left, because that would have been her to him on his way out.
Yeah.
Damn it. Everyone stay calm. She's looking for anyone, doing anything weird. But if no one's weird in her,
nobody's doing anything weird in your class.
oh yay! Everyone stay calm. Grab your stuff. May need to move quickly, but right now, everyone just stay seated. Okay, it's going to be all right. Can I make some kind of roll to persuade them? To stay calm with empathy or something.
Well, definitely, yeah.
Persuasion and empathy, or
let's make intimidation and empathy.
You've got to be kidding.
So the way that I look at it is like persuasion and empathy would be like, come on, guys, we just got to stay calm.
Okay,
Whereas
yeah, I know.
intimidation and empathy is just like, everybody stay calm. You're gonna be okay, but stay here. That sort of thing.
Okay, so would any of my loyalties apply, like community or humanity? All right, I've got some. Dude, seriously?
I would say either community or humanity in this case, because the school is technically counts as your community.
Right.
Yeah, so either one, whichever one's higher.
They're both the same.
I'd have to go check.
They're both the same. I got
Okay.
it. All right. Oh, okay. 18, which is good because I only have 4 for the rest of it. So 22.
Very cool. I mean, they're definitely taking. I mean, they're used to you commanding the room anyway.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. Well,
do you tell them to do anything in particular, or just to stay still and don't do anything?
If you get alerts on your phone, it's okay to read them, but you're safe here. She's thinking, I hope. But she keeps the door shut and locked because, well, if she needs to get through the door quickly, she can.
True.
So if she has to go out and help Kirk or something like that. But right now, she just wants to make sure that her students are okay.
Okay.
And so she's also hoping that some of that firmness gave them a little bit of confidence to calm down.
Okay. I mean, it definitely did.
Okay.
Yeah, they seem calmer. The doors are locked, so.
Is there a window? Because there's sometimes is it like a
there's probably a window.
She will look out the window to see what's going on because she's a little torn here. She wants to protect them, but
there's honestly just a ton of people running around. It's pure chaos out there.
Jesus. What is the news saying? She just calls out to the room in general.
What is the news saying?
Yeah.
They say, your students say all of we can't get anything other than.
There is no news.
Yeah, this message on repeat.
Okay.
So what is Serpentine doing?
So you said that there were 2 masked people attacking.
Yeah. Everybody gets a juice.
Classroom.
I said everybody gets a juice. I apologize.
Okay.
I forgot. So go on, Martin. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
You said that there were 2 masked figures
Yes.
in the class. All right, I definitely am not going to let them stab people if I can at all prevent it. So I think I'm going to bring my hands together and do a wave clap
Oh, awesome.
at one
Let's
at
see
the
how that
most.
works.
Yeah. So it's a pretty decent roll. Let's see how. Oh, it's a pretty decent amount to add to the roll. And I rolled a 15 plus 10, so 25.
Just let me find that in the book here.
It is. I did pull it up. It is. So on land, it's Aquatica, which is 7 times 5 feet, so I can easily reach them unless this is a really huge classroom. And then the force of this attack, I send ambient air hurling towards an opponent. The force of this attack shatters bones and causes massive internal bleeding. Damage determined by level, which for 7 is 3B on land.
Wow. Okay. Ooh.
And it also deafens an opponent for 1 round, but it only targets 1 opponent. So
Right. Gotcha. Well, just for simplicity, I'm going to say you are able to knock down both of the masked guys with that. So they were standing right next to each other. You know how that happened. So yeah, that definitely that's a mark off a juice because that did cost you 1 juice. Very cool. Bygone, what is Bygone doing?
All right, so she sees this dude put on a mask and then stab the person in front of him and
Yes.
in front of them. And so she is going to use her flux ability.
Okay.
Um,
Do you ever decide what energy type you have?
You know what? I am actually going to say it's light.
Okay.
It's like a light because I mean she's also, yeah. She's just a hodgepodge of a whole bunch of stuff. So yeah, light's going to come off of her,
Okay.
and she's going to run up to the person stabbing and try to stop him.
Cool. So how are you doing that?
She is going to try to wrestle the knife away.
Okay.
She's
So you're
gonna
going
try
to activate your flux.
Yep.
And so that's going to cost you a juice.
Yep.
The juice you just got. And now you can, let me make sure what flux does there real quick. What level do you have flux?
It's just 1.
Okay. So it'll do, all right, so it's 1 damage on contact, so that's good. And you have light. Okay, cool. So go ahead and make a, you're going for like a disarm. Let's do a speed and might roll.
Okay. Can I add one of my loyalties?
I would say you could add humanity if you wanted.
Okay. I will do that. 23.
Nice. You definitely are able to disarm the person. So you're like knocking the knife out of their hand, or what are you
Yeah,
doing?
she's gonna try to like self-defense, like get the knife away from them. She's not gonna try to like use it because
Okay.
that would make sense. So she's gonna try to knock it away so that he can't do any damage to anybody else.
So you do the thing like where you grab the arm and you twist it and they drop the knife, you kick it away, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
All right, that sounds good. You definitely do that. You do have a person on the ground bleeding, but that person, the one you just disarmed, he runs, and you see that he's joined up like down the street by 3 other people with the same mask.
Okay. I would chase after them.
Okay. Retribution. So you run out into the hallway.
Open the door. What's there?
So like the hallways are like strangely just like filled because everybody's trying to leave the classrooms. Not everybody was able to get their class in order
Yep.
the way that Wraith did. So there's lots of other students out there. There's lots of injured people, like
Mhm.
with cuts and stuff like that. You see one person probably got trampled. They're not dead, but they're severely injured from just being trampled by other people.
Does- Is there anyone there with a mask on in that location?
Yes, actually.
I mean,
You see one person, he's actually he's a big dude. And he's got a mask on, and he's like fully decked out in like ninja gear. Like it's
Cool.
so weird. It's so weird. So
punch
yeah,
that.
he's kind of just standing at the end of the hallway, almost like he's like you guys have locked eyes, like it's a martial arts movie.
It is definitely like a martial arts movie. I mean, I think Retribution is going to go punch that guy.
Yeah, I assume.
He's going to MMA that guy like he
Yeah.
does.
I assumed. He pulls out like a double-bladed axe, and most of them use knives, but this guy uses an axe because he's special.
I love him. He's a mid-level boss. He's
a mid-level boss. Yes, he's not the boss.
He needs to swing the axe around a little bit. He's not just a goon.
Exactly. So just for kicks, go ahead and roll initiative.
Okay. 34.
All right. Let me make sure here. All right. So he has. I'm using a pre-written character because why not? All right. So. I'm not going to be able to beat 34, but I'm going to roll it anyway just so that I know what I have a number to compare.
Oh, it's going to be great with what Red does with his 34. It's going to
Exactly. Nothing like the only thing that would beat a 34 is if he was a speedster, and I would be like, no, I go first, and he'd be like, oh, damn it. Cool. You get to go first.
So
you guys are like across from a hallway.
Yeah. If it's okay, for narrative purposes, I would love to see them like running toward each other, right? Yeah. Like, is that it? So his action will be to prepare coil and strike, right? So he's waiting to be hit.
Okay.
Because that's what Rhett does.
Yes. No, I got you.
It's real.
Very cool. Well, he's coming in with his axe, so that's what he's gonna do. Because why would you? I'm not going to pull out an axe if I'm not going to use it.
I agree wholeheartedly.
I'm just saying. I mean, it's just not going to happen. Let's see. So he has this one. Okay. So he gets a burnish. Okay. Wow. So I rolled really well.
Okay.
Just so you know.
Can I dodge with martial arts and speed?
You can.
Is that how one would do that? I mean, I'll try it.
I would say that's how you would do that. Obviously, throw on your -2 that you get from being uncoiled.
I rolled a 1.
No, you did not.
I rolled a 1. I don't dodge it. He probably beats me by a lot of levels of success.
What is your full bonus though that you would get to that?
I would provide a plus 15, plus 16 to that.
Plus 16 to that. Okay.
Or no, 17.
So you technically have a 17.
It technically have a
17. This is for the purposes of damage.
No, I technically have a 15 because I'm -2.
Oh, that's right. So you technically have a 15. So I rolled 30, which means I'm going to do whatever damage plus bonus damage plus another bonus damage.
Yeah.
So, okay. Wow. Okay.
All good.
No, this is gonna hurt real bad, dude. I'm sorry. I wish it wasn't a 1. Like if you rolled a 2, it would have hurt, but not as bad. But
I mean, sometimes one rolls a 1.
Yeah, that is probably the worst time to roll a 1. So his base damage appears to be a 2.
Cool.
His axe does an additional 4.
6.
He does 3 levels of boost damage.
11.
So that's yeah, and then he's going to do an additional 2 because you rolled the 1.
13.
So that's
That's
13.
13B.
That's 13B.
Cool. So
I know you have 20 or something like that,
yeah,
but that is a lot of
So-
your health.
no, it 100% it is. So in the TV show, right, Rhett spits out blood and then smiles and then immediately spends a juice to declare him as prey and spends a juice to do counterattack.
Okay.
So he gets clapped and he's like, "Argh."
Yep. Sounds good to me.
He hit. This is
Let me
crazy.
see, you do have 20, correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay.
So,
So
it
right
is-
now I believe right now you're operating at a -4 just due to how much health you have.
is that how that works?
Yeah.
Is
The
that 'cause
further
of-
down you go. What's that?
Is that because of pain or something?
Yeah, it's the pain
I
penalty.
ignore pain. I have pain resistance.
Well, that's right. You know, you have pain resistance. Hold on, let me make
Yeah,
sure.
I take 2 away from the penalties. I have
All
it
right,
written.
so then you're only -2 then from that then.
Cool. So
Yeah,
if-
because I believe it's -2 when you're half, then it's -4 when you're like a quarter, and then it's like underneath that is -8. It's crazy. Like the more damage you take, the worse it is.
oh yeah, no, it's absolutely terrible. So 8, 10 plus 2 more, 12 plus 14, 27 to hit him.
Oh, let me make his roll too. Hold on. Let me see what does he have here? He has. Oh wow! I didn't even notice this guy has martial arts mastery too. Wow,
Cool.
crazy! I did not know that he had that actually. That's great. I just pulled up a pre-gen character. Let's see. So he is going to do athletics, speed. So that's 7, 9. So I have a +9, which means
So-
you're probably going to hit him.
So yeah,
So-
27. So it's by 3.
What's that?
That's by 3. I think 3 levels of success, more than 15. Yeah.
Well, I haven't rolled yet. I said he has a
Oh,
+9.
My apologies.
No, he has a +9 to his roll,
Cool.
and I rolled a 12, so I have a 21, which means you
So-
only boosted on him once.
Okay, so I do 10 points of damage. That counts as 16 points of damage for the purposes of knockout. It's 16
Are you-
over half of his health.
Are you going for a knockout?
Yeah, always. Yep.
Okay. Let's see. How much health does he have? Doo-doo-doo-doo. He's got that much health. Because I'm not going to tell you how much he has.
That's fine.
And does he have armor? He does have armor.
I ignore 2 points of armor.
Okay. Okay, so, and how much damage did you say?
16. No,
You said
10 points. 10,
you said
but it
10,
counts as
16 for
knockout.
knockout. Okay. So, yes, I will say that you will have knocked him out.
Okay.
Yes. It's
So-
kind of hard not to with you just doing that much just pure damage there. And even with his damage reduction and everything, I think you just about got him. So
Okay.
yeah, so I'm gonna say but you are
Oh, no, I'm
you're
messed up.
pretty wrecked. Like he
100%.
thought you were dodging and like his axe is just like buried in your chest right here.
Absolutely.
Like, it sucks. Don't remove it. It would be bad.
I will.
So that happened, guys. That was a crazy thing.
Jeez.
Let's go back to
Yep.
Wraith. What is Wraith doing now?
Am I
Are you
seeing
keeping
this?
everybody calm? You're just like,
Well, she's also looking out the window. Am I seeing this?
no, that was happening in the hallway.
Like, so not in front of the classroom in the
Oh, I'm
hallway?
sorry. I thought that when you said you were looking out the window, I thought you were looking like out at the field, like outside.
No,
the rest of the
like there's
school.
usually like at least a little one with
Oh
the
no,
wires
they were
and
further
stuff
down
at
the
door.
hall. You wouldn't have been able to see that.
Okay.
Did she put her face out? I mean, she's
She can. She has not chosen to do that.
She can. She's about to. Okay, so she's looking at the what is her class doing?
They
Are they-
are sitting and awaiting your instruction. Right now, you told them to sit and be calm.
I did tell them to grab up their stuff, right?
They did that then.
Okay.
With you, I mean, you made a really good roll. So with a 22,
Yeah, I
they're-
know.
like, you tell them to do something, they're going to do it.
Okay, I know you guys. Okay. Does my phone work, or is it just that message over and over? Can I get to text? Can anyone get to text or anything like that?
Yeah, you can get to a text. Yeah.
Okay. Hey, guys, I want you to let your family, significant other, whatever, know that you're okay and where you are. All right?
Mhm.
So
They will
are
definitely do that.
when
They're
they're when their heads are buried in their phones, I
Yeah.
stick my face out. Now, I have semi-transparent.
Mhm.
So I would like to use that because, okay, granted, it adds to my stealth. So if someone looks my way, maybe they have a chance of not seeing me half out the door.
Yeah. So with semi-transparent, I believe that's a trick, isn't it?
Yes, it's a trick.
No, semi-transparent is an enhancement.
Oh, that's right. No, it is. That's it.
So that would
It's
cost
the-
you. That would cost you two. That would cost you 2 juice to do that.
Well, I have a feeling I'm going to go the rest of the way through the door,
Excuse me.
so I may as well keep it up.
Because
Um,
it's one for you to just activate your power. 2, the second one is to make it partial. To make it semi-transparent.
Right. Okay. So, well, fortunately, I have that extra juice now.
Yeah. Exactly. Well, everybody has 3, and then you got a fourth one for free. So there you go.
Yeah.
Oh, and like Ray, you'd have 2 more for how much damage you took.
Oh, 2 instead of 1. I
You
just
got
need
2 more
1.
juice.
Cool.
Yeah.
So when I stick my head out, all hopefully no one seeing me. What do I see?
It's kind of the same thing that I, told Ray, like lots of
Chaos.
people running, lots of injured people, stuff like that. But you do see obviously, Ray with an unconscious ninja in front of him, and like an axe buried in his chest.
Well, fuck.
I mean, can Retribution like see her when she pokes her head out, or no?
You know what? No, because you were facing away from her with the fight. So I'm going to say you ran away from those. Yeah. So I'm going to say, no, you're not looking, behind you right now. You're more just like in the grips of like,
Yeah.
you're Pee Wee Herman in Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Like,
Oh, yeah.
ah,
I'm
ooh.
definitely Pee Wee Herman in this.
Damn it, Kirk. Okay, so I know I've got first aid kit in my classroom, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. All the rooms have those. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna pop back in because this is the only way I can get him in. Unlock the because I can't phase him with me. I can't do that yet.
Correct.
So yeah, I gotta do this fast. So I pop back in, unlock the door, say, "I'll be right back." Shut the door.
And you
Go over-
go to him and administer
and-
some first aid.
Yeah. I'm
Oh.
gonna try to do that and be like, "That was not smart."
No,
Let's
it's
get
good.
you-
It's good. He's not going to kill anyone else. I gotta go.
No. You're gonna go to my classroom and we're gonna patch you up. Come on.
No,
Yes. No. Yes. It's this direction.
he's just like walking away. He's like, I cleared a path for people.
You were laying down. I thought.
Hmm?
I thought you were on your back or something.
No.
Oh.
I would say he was probably like on a knee, but he
Okay.
can be like, I'm not on a knee anymore. So he can do that. He's got pain resistance. So technically he can just
Dude.
be like, I'm still moving.
Let me patch you up before you go back.
Sure, make it quick.
Okay, let's do this. I get him in the classroom. I lock the door again, and I start patching him up. I
So-
have a little bit of medicine.
Rhett looks very stressed out and
Okay.
anxious. His responses are like way fast. Like it's awkwardly, uncomfortably fast
Yeah.
Okay.
to everything. Not his
Right.
but his responses.
Yeah. All right. Well, can you make an intangibility plus speed roll for me?
Oh,
Carol?
yeah. Hang on. Let me get to my sheet.
I do
Actually,
need-
have.
I do need I don't know. I'm going to say at least a 15. A 20
Okay,
would be
well-
better.
Okay.
No, +2 because of the drugs we took. The booze.
That's true.
In this case, you would be able with a +2. Yes.
Okay, so I'm already starting pretty high then. So
Are you starting with at least a 15 or
I'm
what?
starting with at least a 12.
Hey, don't roll roll a 3 then. No, 20 is better.
Dude, okay, so I am picking it up. It's a 19.
Very cool.
Uh,
So you
that's
you
19 inch.
so in order to treat the wound, you obviously need to remove the axe.
Yes.
But as soon as you grab the axe, blades come out of the axe, and they would have cut your fingers and your arms to shreds, but you have intangibility. So as soon as they go off, you just went intangible and reflexively, and it just drops to the ground.
Okay. Now let's stop the bleeding.
No, what?
Yeah, it's a thing with the faceless. That's kind of why I was asking, did Bygone grab the knife? Because if you had tried to hold the knife, the same thing would have happened to you.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Cool then. So go ahead and make that speed and medicine.
Okay. I actually have some medicine, so.
Oh, then, I guess the question is, what floor are we on?
I would say the first floor for simplicity.
That's 6, 21.
21. Nice. All right. So I'm going to say she definitely able to patch you up. So you're no longer bleeding. I'll say she definitely removes the bleeding.
Or whatever.
That's where you're at with
Cool.
the amount of time that you have. She doesn't have substantial time
Absolutely,
to do anything more than stop bleeding.
So, Aloy, is there obvious fighting outside happening? Like,
I would say at this point, it seems like it's quieting down in the hallways because more people have actually gotten out.
what
at
about
this point?
outside?
Yes, outside. Yes, there's definitely more commotion and stuff out there.
So Rhett will pick up a desk or a chair, throw it through the window, and jump through the window. Straight up. He's like,
I love it.
I could have opened that, you asshole.
So,
sorry, right?
so and just to bring Serpentine into this,
Yeah.
you hear a crash and you see Retribution running out in the classroom next door to yours. So you see him running out
Okay.
into the field where I would say there's now at least a dozen of the people with masks now out there.
Would he be running towards me?
No, you're in the park, so
Oh,
you're
that's
not
right.
even at the school. So I don't know. We can say that you were there, or you can use your nifty portal powers and get there if you wanted to.
I could.
That's kind of why I was okay having you split up from the group, is because, okay, that's fine because she's got portal powers. Anybody else, I would have said, is there any reason why you might just be at the school though?
Why would you?
You know, so-
Yeah, no, I mean, is for in the park, those people ran away. Is there anyone else?
Like I said, he ended up, the one who you chased ended up meeting up with a few others down the street. But then there's other people the other side of the street. Like basically everywhere you look, it's chaos. People running, people getting killed, all kinds of stuff. Amps trying to pull out powers and getting shut down. Like, just like, I'm gonna burn you. Oh, you got stabbed in the neck. You know, it's like that sort of thing.
Okay. I am. Yeah, I am going to because I know all of them are at campus. So I'm going to go back to the people that I know who they are, and
Yeah.
that they were not going to try to kill me. So
So I'm gonna
So,
say, I mean,
I
you've
will
been
use
you've been to Wraith's classroom. So I would say like you could easily portal there because you've been there.
okay, yeah, she will portal to Wraith's classroom, and
Oh, thank God you're okay.
Well, hold on. She has to make a
No.
roll first.
I do, and this is where my
Yeah, it could be very bad,
It
but it
could
could also
Damn
be
it.
very good.
bad because I get lost.
Yeah, this is the beauty of the lost drawback here.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. So lost. So basically, you're going to roll your die, and if it's on a natural 1 through 4, then you
Awesome.
don't get to where you want. So
Cool.
it's not with bonuses. It's just what's on the die, because you could basically roll the die and still technically get it, but it's what's on the die.
Okay.
So what are you rolling? I think it's portals and travel. Was it?
Portals and intuition, I think. Hold on.
Portals and let's see. Portals and discipline.
Discipline. Okay.
No. That's how far you can make it away. What's your portals and discipline?
Oh, my portals and my discipline are 6.
6. Okay, cool. So you can. We'll say that the school is within 6 miles. Why not?
Okay, cool.
It's definitely within 6 miles.
100%.
100%.
All right, so I have to make a roll now. What do I add to it? Do I add anything to it?
Actually, for portals, there is no check. So I'm just gonna have you make a roll.
Oh, okay.
That's
that's what
because
Locke
you don't need
does.
to make a roll to use the power.
Yep.
So you just have to make a roll and not have it land on a 1 through 4.
11.
Okay, well then you're fine. For other things, like if you were using teleportation, I think you'd have to make a roll, and then at that point, then it would be based on what you roll. But since there is no roll for portals, it's just roll a die. Very cool. And what is your portals rating?
4.
Okay. Very cool. That is good. And do you have a fast portal?
No, so it does take a minute.
Okay. Well, it's a minute for each level of portals.
Oh.
So it's
So
going to
6
stay open
minutes.
for 4 minutes. That's why I was
Okay.
asking.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, it's gonna stay open for a while.
So that'll be fun.
Yeah, that will be totally fun. I am so sorry, Wraith. You're gonna have a lot of explaining duty.
So all of a sudden a portal opens, Wraith, in your classroom, and Bygone jumps through.
Okay. Now, thank goodness you're alive. How are my students reacting?
No, they're kind of freaked out. Like a few of them aren't freaked out, but most of them are. But a few of them are like, "Oh yeah, like my friend Jimmy can do that," you know.
Yeah, she's a friend. It's all good.
Campus exists in this world, so it's not entirely
Yeah.
new. But
No, by the way, did any of them see me? You think? Do I know? I probably don't know.
no, I'm gonna say they didn't.
Okay, because I had them
You don't know if they
distracted.
did, but you assume they did not.
Yeah.
All right.
Because I don't want my parents to know, and as soon as any member of the staff or faculty know, my parents will know.
I love that. That's the thing you're most worried about right now. I love it.
All right.
Oh,
so
she's good at compartmentalizing.
I get to her classroom. I see that she's in the middle of class. Like, hi guys. And
You also see there's probably blood on the floor.
there's probably blood on the floor and a trail of blood leading to a smashed window.
Oh yeah, that too.
And I'm like, oh, okay, Rhett was here.
He went that way.
And I will go out the window as well.
Okay.
Oh, okay, so you run out the window too. Oh, okay.
Well, it's already broken, so she can't do
Somebody
Then
anything.
you might as well.
Sit our meat.
Martin, what is Serpentine doing? You already noticed and now you're seeing Bygone running now too, I guess. So
Right. How badly do I need to do like a first aid check for the two students? Did the two people with knives actually injure someone, or was I able to stop them in time?
no, they definitely did. Yeah, two
Okay.
people in the room, 2 other amps. And like Wraith doesn't know that, pretty much is pretty sure that none of the people in your class are amps. Which would be why probably there were no faceless in your classroom to kill anybody, because there's no
Right.
amps still in there.
So
Yeah.
I definitely went to call up my lifeguard training, which is just, I think, medicine and speed for a first aid roll.
Yeah, first aid, yeah.
So it's not great, but it's something.
Okay.
So medicine 1, speed 3, so 4
Hey,
total.
that's +4.
So here
You
we
want to add
go.
infinity to that, you can.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So community is +2, so that's going to be 6. Nice. And I rolled a 2, so that's only going to be 8.
So that's an
Yeah.
8. I'm gonna say, well, make a second roll for the second person. I'm gonna say the first one, the injuries are just beyond what you can do anything with.
Would you believe I rolled a 2 on a completely different die again?
I would. As much as I would believe that Ray rolled a 1 on probably the most consequential combat roll with an actual person who could have actually done something to him. So
So he did something to me.
most other people, like, it wasn't even going to be a challenge, but I'm like, this guy's going to be a challenge, and that's when he rolls a 1. So yeah, I would totally believe that. I would say both of them, both of the students, I mean, sad, but they die. You try your best, but there's not much you can do for them.
All right. So this hurts a lot. Serpentine is really upset to lose two people. Even though like he was able to knock down those 2 faceless, but this still happened and all. He did see Bygone and Retribution jump out the window.
Yeah, and run towards like the square of like in the middle of the campus.
Right. I was actually going to ask if Serpentine's class. I was originally going to ask if Serpentine's classroom could be like 1 floor up, because with a 4 in elasticity, I don't have to worry about
Oh, that's so cool.
falling damage for
That was awesome.
for 40 feet.
Sure.
But there's also player knowledge, the fact that there's going to be a portal for 4 minutes in Race Defenseless Classroom with a
We don't know that
policy
yet.
of
You don't know
Yeah.
that, and I'm still there. And since the portal hasn't closed, I'm not going to go anywhere.
And that's what Martin's saying. He's just like, player knowledge, I kind of want to go in there just in case something happens, but character knowledge, he technically wouldn't do that, right?
She hasn't seen him get super stretchy or because he hasn't been very snake-like, right?
He's probably done it like in passing, like reaching for salt at the
Oh
table.
yeah,
or
yeah,
something.
sure, right? The remote control or something.
Yeah. haven't seen
Stretchy
him do it,
itself
like,
doesn't
superhero
bother her. It's the
probably,
snake
though.
thing. So as long as he doesn't look like one, I think she's good.
So I'm totally cool with it. I mean, I think the power description just like implied that I would like bounce sort of, but I didn't take the bouncing enhancement.
Yeah.
Or
Well, the
check or
bouncing
whatever.
means that when you would hit the ground, you would then immediately, launch into the air. This just means that you can hit the ground and you're fine.
So I think what happens to play up that serpentine aspect is that rather than like just dropping and hitting, serpentine kind of slithers out the window and stretches out, so he's stretching to the ground before his legs snapping.
Love it.
They're sliding down to join him.
Very cool. So you're going out with Bygone and Retribution and Serpentine then.
I took out the immediate threat in the psychology classroom, and I saw 2 of my new friends running off. So I figured into the chaos below. I figured I'd see what I could do to help.
Okay. There does seem to be quite a few. Somebody like sounds an alarm, so now there's a pretty large, like, and very loud alarm going off right now. So, there's probably going to be people here soon, like on the scene. Most likely, Track would be here, pretty soon, since this is an attack from the Faceless. And you guys would probably recall that. Remember that whole the manifesto thing that I read to you guys last time, and they had said that after the new year they were planning something big. Obviously, this would be that thing. So the 3 of you are running out into, like I said, like the center of the square
Quad or whatever.
of the college, and there are, I would say, at least a dozen faceless. Some of them are in regular clothes but have their mask. Others are in the full faceless, gear, which is the mask and like a weird beret, which is kind of interesting. And then they have like a ninja kind of suit. In the book, there's some cool pictures of them in the book. Because the Faceless they're evil. Oh my gosh, I hate them so much.
Aren't they what like the UHF became?
They are, yeah. They were a subsect of the UHF.
Yep.
Who were like
They're
UHF
extreme
aren't
extremists.
far enough.
They're double extreme.
I said they're extreme
noticed that-
extremists.
Yes.
I noticed there's a lot of that. Like Atlantis is kind of like came from not Amakuma or and Aegis is like, oh, we're Seekers Plus, and
Yep. The Aegis Squad is like Seekers. Exactly. There's
and
evolution of
Retribution
the
is
ideas.
Changelings Plus, and so and it's that
Retribution was an offshoot of the Changelings. Yeah, exactly. Lots of stuff.
So I feel like Retribution will start walking towards like all 12 of them, right?
Yeah.
Like calmly across the quad. He'll like pull his sweatshirt off, right? And like in a cool, if he was good looking, that'd be really, really awesome looking, but it's not. Like he pulls off his sweatshirt and these head to toe tats that are all anti-amp tats.
Right.
But like it's not like on this cut body. It's like on like just a guy who's a little too thin, like a guy who's not super built. And he's just gonna like kind of slowly like stalk towards them.
Okay.
Wait.
So
I think they should roll to not be confused.
no, there's no confusion here. As he gets closer, one of them throws him a mask and says, "You forgot your mask."
Okay, so is that like the boss? The one of them, does he look like? I mean, yeah, Rhett will walk up and like grab it, and then like look at it and then just deck him. He doesn't even care if he's in the center of 12 of them. It is not his concern.
Oh, deck him with the mask.
Yeah, sure.
Just like hold up the mask.
backhand him. Like, wham!
Yes.
That's what occurred.
I love it. I'm going to say that happens because that guy wasn't even expecting it. So you see Retribution go into the middle of this group and just start fighting the fight. And 12 on 1 is not fair. Like no matter how good of a fighter you are,
It's true.
so it's like they're basically pounding them at this point. What is Bygone and Serpentine doing?
So
Like I'm not going to
I
make a
mean-
roll. It's 12 on 1, so it's just like
It's only better for me if they're punching me.
yes.
That's when it gets better for me.
Yes. They're probably punching you right now, depending
Sure.
upon what Bygone and Serpentine do.
I'm probably
I mean, Bygone will probably like, because she's
Yeah.
not a fighter, so she would probably just like walk up behind one of the ones that, or run up behind one of the ones that have their back turned to them and like bear hug on the back, like trying to like choke him out, though she doesn't know how to do that.
Okay.
So
Make a
at
fighting
this
and might
at
roll
that point, it's
then.
just gonna be a distraction.
Fighting and might. Serpentine, what's Serpentine doing?
All right.
Serpentine is going to he's going to start using his light nodes and try to lure them. I think I don't want to blind any of my teammates, so I'll just spend 1 juice to use follow the light, and have this for 70 feet.
Okay.
I can. Others who view the pattern. The resistance is a mental trauma.
Yeah. So I'm going to make a mental trauma check for pretty much anybody who can see you. So, yeah. So let me make that then.
I got a 6.
You got a 6 on what? Your mental trauma roll?
No,
Oh,
on the
Oh, on
the
your
roll.
attack? Oh gosh. That means you rolled a 3. Am I correct?
Yep.
Oh yeah. Wow. Sometimes the dice love you and sometimes not.
Sometimes they don't.
That's hilarious.
At least it wasn't a portal roll.
Like, you wouldn't even be here if that was the case.
Right.
So you have to make your roll though, and then I have to make my so you have to make your roll, and then I know what my what's the word?
target
difficulty
number.
is.
Resistant.
Right? For Aquatica.
Sorry.
Yeah,
That
'cause it says I
is
resist with a mental trauma, but I have to know what my difficulty is.
so. I have a 7 in Aquatica.
Okay.
Uh,
All right. Cool.
7. I'm reading through it to see if I missed
No,
anything.
you're fine because I'm seeing an issue here. I'm seeing the issue with that. Okay, cool. Well then, I'm gonna say that I'm gonna say you are able to mesmerize. I would say probably 4 of them. They just kind of go, oh, and they kind of get like dizzy and hypnotized.
All these shimmering patterns of different
Exactly.
colored lights across my.
He like rips off his shirt, and you see all these like nodules in his skin start pulsing with lights and stuff. It's really, I mean, it's icky, except that it's pretty cool.
It's I think it's like weirdly beautiful, but it also is like weird. It's creepy in a way.
It's like the octopi that can change their colors. You're like, oh, that's really cool and really weird.
Like there's cuttlefish. Yeah, the cuttlefish that shimmer.
Who would have guessed that Aloy would write something so weird? So he does that. You try to grab some of them, and they like knock you backwards. They're like they're not even interested in you. But except for the one you did try to grab is actually going to attack you. And how would you defend yourself?
She'd probably try to roll out of the way.
Okay.
Because they knock her back, I'm assuming she probably trips.
That makes sense. So make a you know what? Just for the hell of it, make an athletics and luck roll, whatever your luck is, because I know you have that power.
Oh, okay.
Actually, make an athletics and speed and add your luck to it.
Okay. Sweet. I got a natural 20 and I have to add 10, so I got 30.
Nice. Well, I have a 23, so then yeah. Well, you
just like roll out of the way and vault up.
Nice. So you get a juice, and yeah, like you kind of trip backwards, and like right as you move backwards, there was a knife that was gonna go here, and you move just out of the way of the woman's knife. And yeah, that was a really good roll. So you get the juice though. Don't forget that.
All right.
Nice.
Cool. Wow. Okay. Wraith, what is Wraith doing?
Okay, portal's still open because I know it hasn't been 4 minutes.
It's gonna be ending pretty soon here.
All right, I'm looking out the window. They didn't get very far because the quad's not terribly far.
Okay.
From her. She's on the first floor. So, how are the kids doing? Are they at the window like watching now?
Some of them are. Others are still frantically texting.
Okay.
Yeah.
And she cannot leave them in here while the portal's still open. She's watching the portal, and she has a thin metal pointer because you'd be doing maps and stuff and the board and things like that. And because I'm sure they have like computers and projectors and stuff like that, but her professor likes kind of being a Luddite. But so she wants to do it. She has to drag him in there. So that's the only weapon she would have. So she's just kind of standing by the portal. If someone comes through, she's gonna whack them or possibly phase the item into them because she has knockout. Yeah. And say, back off, motherfucker, or I'll, let go. So
right. Let's if that happens, right? Like,
yeah. She's not looking for trouble. She's looking to keep them safe.
Okay, very cool. So I'm going to say in that moment.
I'm sorry, guys.
No, you're fine. So as I mean, the fight's not necessarily going in your guys' favor, but
I don't know if it's, well, no. Here's why. Like, how much did we get? Is this another fight for another juice, or is this the same fight?
This is the same heightened sense of adrenaline.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So basically, the first time someone misses me, I get a free attack. When I hit with that attack, I get a free attack.
Right.
Okay, so I don't know. We're taking.
I got you. I'm trying to cinematic it a little bit.
I'm just saying that there's
Yeah.
probably people getting knocked out, and we're getting like worn down.
Right.
But like, there's
Right. And what I was going to say is, at this particular moment, while it seems like it is not going your way,
correct.
Reinforcements arrive, which is good. There's a couple of other students who come out. One of them has like earth powers and starts creating fissures in the ground. One of them is like a chameleon and is able to like sneak up behind one of the
Nice.
the faceless and like knock them out, that sort of thing. And there is one guy who he appears to be probably around the same age as Serpentine and Bygone. He's got a striped hoodie, and he actually comes in and he kind of puts his hands on the ground, and it seems like his energy kind of like just starts to spread and starts to kind of shape just like the ground around it. Hands start coming out and grabbing people and throwing them and all kinds of stuff. So you guys are getting some sort of backup until eventually track agents also show up and start actually really arresting people and having to shoot down a couple of the faceless if they needed to. The portal does close. Nobody came through the portal because I did make a secret roll on my end to see if any of them would dare jump through a portal to somewhere that they have no clue.
Right? Yeah.
So I did make a roll, and they were smart enough not to do that.
They're evil, so they can also be stupid.
But and probably when track shows up is when like the signal stops getting beamed everywhere. And you start seeing, reports that this occurrence, while it was bad here, it actually happened all over the world all at once.
Really?
Every faceless agent was activated at the same time.
Damn.
So like the death toll is crazy.
Yes.
Like
Oh.
wow.
Yeah.
There are that many of the faceless.
Yes, there were there were
fuzzies.
thousands and thousands of faceless, and obviously there were parts of the world where like there were no faceless there, but then there were other parts of the world where there were tons of them. It's basically wherever those hate groups like to hang out.
Sure.
But yeah, so like there were none in the Sudan. I'll tell you that. That was definitely not a thing. So in the end, though, Retribution gets on a nice stretcher. You get to go stay in the hospital, which is nice. And the other three of you actually kind of got out of this without any injuries or anything. As much as Bygone tried to get hurt, it didn't happen. So it's just like, I rolled a 2, I rolled a 3, I rolled a 1. It's just like, just nothing. It's just not happening. Nobody wants to hurt you. Apparently, you're like, but I keep rolling badly.
By the way, my class has like no homework for the rest of the week. Giving them some time to recover. I'll explain it all to the professor.
So you go to the professor's office, and
I had to say something.
What do you say? Like you go to the professor's office?
I go to his office.
He seemed very concerned because he had locked himself in his office.
Okay. I thought you were leading up to something like awful by, me going to the professor's office.
Okay.
And the professor is dead, or he's wearing one of the faceless masks
you
being
get it.
dragged away. And
All right. So he's concerned. I tell him the class is okay. I followed protocol-ish.
All right, very cool.
Pulling my wounded friend in with the axe in his chest wasn't quite protocol, but
Blame the broken window on the faceless.
Abso-freaking-lutely. That just gets shuffled in with the other insurance reports.
Can you make an empathy and intuition roll for me real quick?
Yes, hang on. Let me get to my sheet.
Uh-oh.
Empathy and intuition. That ain't bad. 16.
All right. Can you make an intangibility and speed roll then for me, please?
Oh, okay. Okay, that's better. That is a 22.
Okay. So you are like, you're like, oh, well, all this stuff happened. I had to pull my friend in and all these things. And he was just like, oh, it's okay. It's okay. And he kind of like just gives you a nice big hug. And he's like, it's cool. It's cool. It's going to be fine. And then he draws a knife and is about to stab you in the back. And you go intangible and he ends up stabbing himself.
Yay!
And he falls
That's
over
awesome.
and dies. And you see his mask fall out of his jacket.
Call.
She will definitely step back, freak out, or no, she can't float yet. But yeah, take a few intangible steps back, and freak the
I
fuck
had
out.
not mentioned your injured friend because that made you an amp lover. That was the thing. So he didn't even know you were an amp, but you had to die because you were an amp lover. It kind of stinks, but
It hurts a lot, actually. This person was her academic mentor.
Yes. Yeah, there are smart extremists out there.
Sadly, yes. But,
Now there's no one to stop you from going on digs and archaeology in the field and all that kind of
I mean,
stuff.
that's a silver lining that's going to take a while to hit her.
I mean,
At
this
least your
really
parents won't
can't-
find out that you're an amp from him. I guess.
Sure. Yeah.
That's
Sure.
what we really care about in multiplayer.
Also, I feel the urge to say that you can phase. It takes a while for everything to hit you.
Yeah.
Oh,
So I'm going to end it there. So great session, guys. We're kind of ending on the dramatic down note there, but I feel like that's
she is going to so need, well, stuff you can't drink, but you'll probably drink anyway.
And actually, I forgot to give everybody XP for the last session. So we're gonna do XP for 2 sessions here,
Sweet.
real quick, if you guys don't mind doing that with me. Let me bring up the XP section. So everybody's gonna get 2 XP for showing up and playing 2 games.
yay.
We're just gonna have to use our memory from the last session, but anybody who used their loyalties in interesting ways would get an XP if they did it during that session. Like I know Ray did it this session because you kind of activated what was his name? Dino Tribe.
I know. My new favorite guy. He's like,
I did with the class, I think.
I did
I
with
would say you did
truth.
with the class.
I did it with truth when I was looking for
Definitely.
education.
And then Serpentine, did you do it? I would say probably when you were trying to save those people.
I did it then, and I used truth when I was trying to find out.
Yeah, he did it the same time I did.
What
the
was that? We were.
Well, the question is, do you guys get the XP for last session too? Like you can take it or not. I just don't remember last session if anybody really.
I didn't.
Or not.
oh, I think the people who took actions to like get materials, if they had truth, right, would have that.
I think I did truth.
Okay.
Oh,
So
I
it would be an XP for this session and last session. I'll let you guys decide last session. Everybody gets it for this session, but you can decide whether you think you get it for last session.
I know, you said it was 1 XP just for showing up per session.
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah. And then the next one is the spotlight. If one character took charge of a situation or was an effective leader, they receive this point. So only one of you is going to get that per session. So who would have gotten it last session? Who would have gotten it this session?
I think Wraith maybe last session. We're trying to do the whole. Okay, we need to get information. We need to call the ACLU. We need to get out of here.
Last session, I would agree. Yeah. All right, cool. So you'll get it for last session. I think honestly, I think it should probably go to Ray this session. I think
I
Ray
think
did a
so,
Yeah.
too.
just running head first into that, and
Yep.
I feel like he probably gets
What-
it this session.
Refusing to be treated for having an axe in his chest
I mean,
to go off and fight, that's pretty badass.
well,
And
here's the deal, right? Like, would he have done that versus anyone else? No. But the evilest version of the organization that he, by the way, ratted out to the feds.
Yeah.
Like, that's why he.
I don't know if we know that.
Yeah, no.
No, he has not told you guys that
He
part.
hates those guys a lot. So.
1.4 if you had a memorable moment.
Can everyone get that?
I mean, Wraith definitely had one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, well, it's if the player did something to make the group say something like, "That's so cool," or "Oh my god, I can't believe that," or something like that. Like, not if it's, So I don't know. You guys tell me. It doesn't have to happen. We don't have to do it every session for that.
I mean, there were a lot of memorable moments.
Yeah.
I think
Sure.
Serpentine going out of sliding out of the window.
That was cool.
That
It
was pretty cool.
actually. Yeah. All right, cool. You get that one then. And then the last point is moral of the story. What did you learn from this session?
I mean, for my character, basically,
Yes.
he was like,
So, basically, you could say something like, "My character is never going to throw a car behind him without looking," or "My character is never going to try and break out of jail using the front door." Like something your character learned.
I think right for him, it's just the idea of like how much of a cancer the faceless are, right? Like that, like trust no one, right? Which is a big problem.
Gotcha.
So.
She definitely has had some trust issues pop up recently. Pointy trust issues.
Pointy trust issues.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that Bygone is finally realizing just how ill-equipped she is to face all of this.
Yeah. Might have to start taking some fighting lessons.
Yeah, she has no idea how to fight.
He will totally teach you how to fight. He loves doing that.
Right.
It's kind of funny because I was thinking as a long-term goal was, does she focus more on the past of where Amps came from, which is still a passion of hers, or does she do something in the now? And I think this helped push it towards, okay, the past is important, the now and the future also needs a bit of attending to.
Yeah. To say the least.
Yeah.
I like
so I
that.
think she learned that.
And Serpentine, what did Serpentine learn?
I think this time Serpentine learned that you can't save everyone. But
Yeah.
you do have to. He's not that. He's a teenager. He's not that much of a downer. So you can't save everyone. You gotta keep moving. Try. You take the next step. Move forward. There's too much else is at risk. To get lost in the sorrow and all.
Love it. And just go ahead and take 2 points for the moral of the story, since we don't have to do another lesson from last session, and I don't remember anything that happened last session. So hopefully you guys did enjoy that.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for letting me get a mask. And then I think it was Crystal who recommended I hit the person with the mask.
Yes.
By the way, it was like
That was brilliant.
100. Like that was awesome.
No, and it was fun because Crystal was like, make them roll to see if they're confused. But I already knew, like, as soon as you said you took off your shirt and you were exposing your tattoos, there's no reason for them to believe that you weren't one of them at that point. So I was like, oh, well, it's not a roll necessary. Then had you kept your shirt on, there might have been a roll of some sort. But no, like,
well, and I didn't do it for that, but I like that it did that. Like it's
right?
cool.
No, I did
like,
that.
Yeah.
In
I
the
understood
show-
that you weren't specifically doing it for that, but I try to take everything into account.
100%.
When I'm
TV
running the
show,
game.
I also like the parallel of first, right, Retribution does that, and then a couple scenes later, Serpentine also does it, right? So it's like backshots of two people pulling like shirts.
His shirt too, yeah.
They're both really uncomfortable. Because for Retribution, it's like this guy with back acne and bad tattoos and all this stuff, and for Serpentine, he's got like the weird hypnotic polyps. And
Yeah.
so it's like, oh, like there's no eye candy here. This is not.
I don't want to look at either of these people. What is happening here?
I love that.
Well, very cool. Well, thank you everybody for coming and watching this session. This was episode 2. We're going to be back next week for episode 3. And have fun, guys. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody out there.
Yes.
Stay safe.
America. Happy Thanksgiving.